was only after the device had been examined that it became clear the device was actually report. The police described what they found as a, quote, electric sex portable pump device.
Ooh,
portable pump device.
Yeah, they actually online.
In case you need one on the go, you know.
Yeah, you never know.
Once these images were put out there, everybody online turned this into the object in question is actually a Zolo Blowbot, an adult toy that sells for around $400 or $350.
Yeah, I was gonna include another picture of the item in question, and it just looked way too lewd.
Not suitable for work, huh?
Yeah,
I'm not.
You stick your wiener in this thing.
You
right
did
here.
not have to explain it to me, Tyler. It was pretty obvious.
Yeah, Brown. Yes. We played golf yesterday, and I'm not gonna. You see that rough behind it? Like, I'm not even sticking my hand in that to pick up a ball. I ain't sticking my meat in that canister.
Negative,
man.
no. Yeah,
that's all I got.
That one is not lightly used either. That one has been.
Lance has been worried about the robots. It was the blowbots. He should have been worried about the whole time.
That's right.
Not worried about the blowbots.
That is trash. Presented by Bud Light. This hour, as always, presented by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Open all weekend long. They're open for lunch right now. Go get those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, those great chicken fingers, the sides. Megan slinging those drinks right there. Go see Sterling and our friends at Champy's, Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com, champyschicken.com. After last night, there have been 36 quarterbacks in the NFL preseason, according to Pro Football Focus. 36 quarterbacks have played in the NFL preseason after last night. The 27.2 passer grade of this quarterback is the worst of all 36. Cam Ward.
Wow.
5 of 12, 57 yards, and a passing grade of 27.2, 36 out of 36.
That's pretty
In
crazy.
the PFF stats.
You think about Anthony Richardson turns it over multiple times last night. Luke Altmaier turns it over multiple times. Guys like Drew Aller looked really good. Carson Beck, last week looked really good.
Yeah. Tonight you got Panthers-Bills. That is actually Saturday. Excuse me. I was giving you the wrong games. Tonight you've got Broncos-Falcons. That is on ESPN Unlimited, so you can stream that one from Atlanta. The Broncos, a 3.5-point road favorite. What are the Falcons doing at quarterback tonight? Do you know? Is it going to be either Tua or Penix, or are they just going to bubble wrap everybody?
I think Tua is going to play tonight.
Tua's playing tonight?
Yeah.
But Denver's still a road favorite in that one. Dunaway's Bucks at the Jets tonight. The Jets, a 6.5-point home favorite. That is the NFL Network game tonight. And then my Dolphins are at the Commanders tonight. Miami, a 3.5-point road favorite, playing at the Commanders. I don't think Daniels is wearing his number 5 tonight.
The interesting thing for Miami is you've got to identify a number 1 option at wide receiver.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah,
it's not a prolific group.
And I don't know who that guy's going to be.
Tutu Atwell, you saw him play.
He can fly.
He can fly.
He is 5'2", 90 pounds.
It's not him. I don't expect it. I mean,
it's just amazing that Miami is in the situation they're in. Tua at one point over the last 3 years, I think he was the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Was the leading passer in the league.
You had a duo in Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle that you could match up with any other duo in the NFL.
As good a 1-2 punch at receiver as anybody had.
That's why, on the surface, it looks like, you could make the argument, one way for Arizona. Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day.
When you trust a doctor with your life, they owe you proper care. If medical negligence left you or a loved one injured, you deserve answers and compensation. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys have recovered over $2 billion for their clients harmed by medical errors, misdiagnoses, and surgical mistakes. They fight hospitals and insurance companies so you can focus on healing. Don't wait. Medical malpractice cases have strict deadlines in Alabama. Call Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys now for a free consultation. 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. You pay nothing unless they win. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Day. Fun day ahead, including LT's Uber experience, where you can get a whole highlight reel on our social media pages, including at YouTube. Little 10-minute cut down. We'll give you a tease of that coming up here in a second in the first segment. Also, Ryan Brown apparently choked something away this weekend.
Is that what you're going to say?
That's what I'm hearing.
Okay.
We'll get to that in the first segment as well. A lot of reaction from the NFL. I texted these guys my quick thoughts on Fernando Mendoza. I didn't get a text back. So
I wasn't watching that game.
Yeah, I was on the ESPN app. I was on it. It wasn't on over-the-air television, but it was on the ESPN app, so I thought I was in heaven. So it was amazing to watch.
By the way, the NFL does not care about their fans. Like, if you've got NFL Sunday Ticket, all these games are available.
I'm kind of like, you've always said that. Like, if I've got Sunday Ticket, I should be able to get every preseason game.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I thought that's why I was getting that game on I didn't know the whole schedule. I was just back in town. So I was loving that. And we'll talk about, of course, Ty Simpson, whether he'll beat Matt Stafford out this year or not. All that coming up. But first, it's AP poll day today. We get the AP poll. And why is the AP poll more important than the coaches poll? Just consistency historically through college football since the mid-1930s. This is the poll of record, and it comes out later today, 11 o'clock Central, we expect it. And it was part of my Hoover Toyota drive-in today. I don't know where you guys are. I don't know how many actually in the coaches poll we had number one, but I think 5, 6, 7 different teams will have a first-place vote today.
Well, it was 6 in the coaches poll, and I think they'll be a little bit more spread out. I wouldn't be surprised at all. You know, Ohio State had 38 of the, what is the total votes?
And the coaches,
64, something like that, yeah.
Yeah. I could see Oregon with only 6. I could see Oregon number 1.
Oh, yeah. Really?
Yeah,
well,
it's just such a sexy pick right now.
They've become the sexy team. I still think it'll be Texas.
I sent my ballot out last night. I don't have one, as I pointed out on Twitter, but if I did, this is how I would have voted, and I put Oregon number 1, to your point.
Yeah, boy, a lot of
returning quarterback, great defense. I heard y'all's interview with Dan Lanning on Friday. You can go back and catch that on the platform. I like Oregon a lot, too. That comes out at 11, and we'll go ahead and tell you the amazing stats right now when this comes out. Brown has a handful of these right now. I will just point out that of 25 teams that were ranked, Lance, last year in the first AP poll, the preseason one, 12 of the 13 finished the season unranked, not lower than they were ranked, out of the top 25 altogether.
Well, you know, we always had that crazy stat
where you're about to get it again.
Yeah, one of the preseason top 10 AP teams would not finish in the top 25, and Penn State at number 2, got their coach fired. Clemson
at number 2, by the way.
Yeah, we didn't even. By the way, almost number 1.
Yeah.
They had 23. Do you remember this? I did not remember it being this close till I looked this morning.
Yeah.
Texas had 25 first place votes. Penn State had 23. Like, Penn State was a whisker away from being probably 1 or 2 first place votes away from being the overall number 1 team in the nation.
But Singleton and Allen coming back in that backfield.
Yep.
You had Drew Aller, who actually played well over the weekend for Pittsburgh. You know, just everything kind of fell apart after that Oregon overtime loss. But Clemson was number 4, barely got bowl eligible.
LSU was 9.
Fired their coach at 9. Arizona State completely shit the bed last year at 11.
2 fired coaches in the top 10. It wasn't just finished unranked. 2 top 10 teams fired their coaches.
South Carolina at 13, sub 500 record there.
You
Same
skipped
with Florida
Illinois
at 15.
at 12. They ended up unranked when it was all said and done.
I think Illinois, though, I think they won 8 or 9 games, though.
Yeah.
Florida at 15, fired a coach. Michigan at 14, fired a coach. Now, it wasn't all performance related, but you can't convince me that performance didn't contribute to that.
Yeah, so Kansas State at 17 fired a head coach. So how many was that? 5 fired or 4 or 5 fired coaches in the top 20?
Yeah, that all started ranked.
So that may be the thing to watch of which teams are ranked and they don't end up in the top 25 and they end up firing their coaches. Give us the stats about the top 10, because this is always amazing, because this isn't like a 5-year capsule here. This is now a generation.
Yep. So you tell me which one is more amazing. 22 of the last 23 years, a top 10 team has finished unranked. We just did the exercise for you. Or this stat, 29 of the last 32 years, an unranked team has finished in the top 10. So of the last 23 years, all but 1 year, and it was 2019 in case you're wondering, a top 10 team has finished unranked. And of the last 32 years, like Jim said, this is a pretty big data sample. Of the last 32 years, 29 of them An unranked team has finished in the top 10.
Yeah, that's not as surprising to me. The unranked.
Oh, man. But Lance,
I think it's the other way.
Every year.
Because I think there's a lot of times where you don't see how guys are going to gel together. Quarterback play takes another level, especially that's a big sample size. The last 4 years with transfer portal, much different too, because you don't know how these guys are going to come in and play together.
Yeah, I think with the transfer portal, the unranked to the top 10 will be the one we continue to have.
But this was happening before that.
Oh, yeah, it absolutely was. But I think it'll only happen more now because, to Lance's point, you can almost overnight build a team.
Yeah, it's almost like the NFL look, and I know it's different, and there is a salary cap there, and there's not one when you're talking about Power Fours and other teams have more to spend. But I do believe that we have got as much parity as we have ever had. In the NFL, the average of the last 5 years, half of the playoff field is completely turned over year in, year out.
And it feels like, didn't we have 7 new teams last year out of 12? It feels like it's going to be that in college football, too.
Yeah, and I look at this top 25, back to coaches getting fired. I don't know how many coaches could get fired in the top 25.
Yeah, well, we're going to do this today. We're going to do the old, all right, give me an unranked team that finishes the top 10, and you're not going to be able to come up with
one.
We
can do that, but I also want you guys to give me a coach or coaches that could be fired in the top 25.
That was the other thing I was going to say. And
I got 3.
We'll do the other one.
Okay.
I got 3 right here.
All right.
You think anybody in the top 10?
These will all be ranked.
All 3 of these were mentioned by Josh Pate on the show last night, so I'll give him credit. And I was going to ask you guys your thoughts on it, so I'll just do it here. The scenario that gets Steve Sarkisian fired this year, what's the number on that?
The poll assassin would have to be involved.
Yeah. Oh, really? So you don't think 8-4?
I don't think I don't think 8-4.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think Texas fans would be like, what has happened? Like there would be a reevaluation. They try to process this, and I think he would be on the hottest of hot seats going into next year.
But he has everything.
He does.
He has everything. And if they're 8-4,
that would be. I said it last week when you were out. I think the biggest disappointment in college football this year, just looking around, would be if Texas misses the college football playoff in back-to-back years.
That's right. 93 could do that. 93 could do that. 8-4 definitely would do that. And
So Pate thinks there is a path for him getting fired.
Yeah, he labeled this as wild firings, but you could sort of paint yourself into a scenario that it would happen. And he mentioned, 9-3. Yeah. I went 8-4 because I feel like 9-3, they're still a playoff contender with their schedule.
Now, it's harder to do this because we actually saw it happen, but does that feel wilder than James Franklin getting fired midseason last year? If I told you that in preseason.
Yeah. Coming off his best year with his quarterback.
Yeah.
But
in the playoffs, and he had everybody back.
It feels wilder because he finally did win some postseason games or against top 25
which one feels
teams.
wilder, Franklin or Sark?
Sark to me feels wilder.
Okay, then Franklin.
I don't think Penn State fans ever they were like, that's a nice run, but outside of that, they were always bitching and complaining he couldn't win big games.
Yeah. What has Sark done?
I don't think he's done much. You guys know how I feel, but I know. I don't know. Maybe 8-4 would get him fired. I think Venables was Venables one of the guys?
No, the other 2 that he mentioned. And these were just wild firings that, not hot seat guys, but could.
Yeah. And by the way, Cristobal, if they wouldn't have made that run last year, if they don't get in the playoffs,
he's
and
there.
Cristobal goes 10-2 this year and is out again, I think there's a chance 10-2 he would have gotten fired.
And Pate said this last night. Joey McGuire at Texas Tech because they give him everything.
I think I brought that up last week. Did I not?
Yeah, I think
said
you did.
Sooner or later, they get embarrassed. They get shut out against Oregon 23-0. It's great you're getting there, but it's the Big 12. You're going to be favored by double digits in every single game. If you didn't get there, or if you even got there and got embarrassed again, I think Cody Campbell and that money, they're finally going to be like, let's pay somebody $15 million that knows how to coach.
Right. Let's bring somebody in that
and you
is
don't
more
know,
of a killer. Yeah.
You don't know where Jimmy Sexton looks and says to Cody Campbell. Now, I don't know. McGuire may be a Sexton guy, but if he goes to Cody Campbell, it's like, so-and-so, he doesn't get the support he wants there. He'll come to your place for that kind of support.
That's right.
And it's an upgrade, and Cody Campbell's like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah, look what Heartline did in 1 year at South Florida, from Ohio State to South Florida. Now look at what can he do at Texas Tech?
And I'm even talking an established coach that might not be getting the resources he wants, and Sexton goes to Cody Campbell's like, I got your guy. That's the way a firing like that could happen.
And Cody Campbell goes, he wouldn't leave to come to us, would he?
I'm his agent. I promise you he would.
Yeah. One of the guys I pointed out was Mike Elko. Not that I think he would ever leave, but how amazing would it be if you leave A&M to go to Texas Tech because you're getting $20 million. But they can afford it.
And a coach like that could look at it and say, why beat my head against the wall in the Big Ten or the SEC when I can go to that conference and I have got a much clearer path? Now, I probably got to win it to get in the playoffs, but boy, it's a whole lot easier for me to win that conference with those resources than it is here in the Big Ten.
But we basically can buy our spot in the college football playoff, and then all of this talent and my ability to coach takes it over.
I'll give you a great one. I will give you a great one. You're wearing his hat. What if Lincoln Riley is shaky ground and
I don't know if Texas Tech fans would be if he gets fired this year.
Well, I'm not saying he gets fired. Schedule. I'm just saying maybe he doesn't.
Okay,
maybe,
if he was 10-2 and got to a college football playoff and they hired him, I think there might be a little steam. But if he was 8-4 and got fired, I think the luster has come off.
Yeah, you don't need him getting fired. You need
that's
him,
his school, though, right?
Did he play at Texas Tech?
Yeah,
he played there.
Yeah,
Lincoln did. I'm just saying, like, what if
it's a sexy hire from a Texas Tech fan?
Let's thread the needle here. Let's say he's 9-3. He's not getting fired, but he also didn't make the playoffs. But he knows I got to get out one step ahead of the posse.
That's right.
Floats the idea to Texas Tech.
Yep,
I can see it.
And then the other one we've discussed 1,000 ways. What's that saying? 1,000 days since Sunday, 1,000 ways
till Sunday, or
whatever that saying is. Yeah. Dabo Swinney. He said, "There's, is there a number that Dabo gets fired?" And we say all the time on the show, Dabo won't get fired. They'll come to an agreement. He'll walk away. But those three were wild possibilities of coaching changes, firings this year from Pate Luck.
But I mean, is Pete Golding not a potential? Like if Pete Golding went 6-6,
boy, that'd be a crazy.
It would be crazy. But I mean, at that point, Ole Miss fans would be like, we just came off the best season in the history of our program, technically. And we've got Trinidad Chambliss, the best quarterback, maybe not only in the SEC, but maybe in college football. And we go 6-6. And with that schedule, I think everything's in play.
Yeah, and you don't want to slip away from such a great period of time.
That's right. You can't let it get too far separated.
That's right.
Yeah.
You want to.
Yep.
You hear some Alabama fans saying, we need to keep going good years. We can't slip away from the Saban years too far to where you have to build this thing back. I think that would be times 2 over in Ole Miss. AP poll out coming up in less than 2 hours. We look forward to reacting to that coming up. We'll react to what these guys did over the weekend right after. Who does Alexander Shunnarah?
That'd be Ryan
I've
Brown.
been gone for a week.
Yeah,
Tell us about Alexander Shunnarah.
Shunnarah.com. Shunnarah.com. That is the place to go when you find yourself in any sort of legal issue. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys, always there for you. And boy, they take care of their clients. More than $2 billion recovered for their clients. $2 billion with a B over the years for Alexander Shunnarah. And it's not just personal injury. I know when you hear his name, you think personal injury attorney, understandably. But he does much more than that. Fire and storm damage, bad drug and device claims, workers' compensation, employment, a host of other claims for Alexander Shunnarah. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. So whatever your legal need, go to Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys.
Hey, and it's time to get your tickets for the fall race at Talladega. Playoff time, the world's fastest speedway, the world's greatest drivers coming back, and you can be there for all the action. Just go to their website and pick out your seats today at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Don't forget the garage experience, the most immersive garage experience in all of NASCAR. You get up close and personal to your favorite drivers, your favorite cars, and crew teams. It's Talladega, October the 25th, the Yellowwood 500. Get your tickets right now with our friends at the Talladega Superspeedway.com. LT reacts to his Uber experience, but here's a little tease of what you can get in our 10-minute highlight reel. Here's LT with some Ole Miss alums.
We all went to Ole Miss.
Oh,
we are all big Ole Miss fans. Hotty toddy.
Lane Kiffin, what is the opinion? I will.
I lived next door to Lane Kiffin for 2 years. Juice Kiffin never lived in the
Oh, no. And that drives me crazy that he lied about a dog.
And we had dogs. And one time I was like, oh, we should play together. And he was like, oh, he doesn't live here.
How do we feel about Pete Golding? We're big fans.
Dude, please. If Pete can take us to the promised land, Pete can go 1-11. But if that one win is against LSU, it's a successful season.
Oh, wow. So this girl lived right next to Lane Kiffin. I mean, that's a monetary flex.
Yeah,
that's
what I said.
I hope she tipped well.
No, but she ended up. She said that she lived with friends of the family.
Yeah.
So I think she lived with an established family already. It was one of those setups because I asked the same thing. I'm like, damn. A college student lived next door to Lane Kiffin. Where you were living? She was like, I live with parents, friends, or something. I forgot exactly what she said. First off, Uber drivers, I salute people that can hang out with those group of people on Fridays and Saturday nights. That was early. That was at what?
That was ride number 2, probably.
8:30?
We started at 8. Yeah, it's probably 8:30.
Yeah, probably 8:30. That was before the bars. So, like, if I would have gone out at 10:30, 11 o'clock after the bars, can't even imagine. You
didn't have anyone in the back seat say, "How much? Can I just strangle you?
Nope.
Can I just choke you out one time?" Did you have one of those?
How much for this headrest?
Did not get one of those.
If you've been with us all these years, you know.
It was interesting. I think it would be a grind of a way to make a living.
Yeah.
Because, I made $38 in an hour and 45 minutes, and I think I did the math. It equated to like $22 an hour, and I think the average wage in Alabama, everything all inclusive, $25 an hour. But, paying for gas, how bad it would beat up your car. You know this. You've done it before, Tyler.
Yeah, you've got obviously your gas costs. You've also got the cost of maintenance. You need more oil changes. You're going to be replacing tires more often. And
people are beating the shit out of your car. Like, hey, they were like, "You're an Uber XL." And I'm like, I don't know if I am or not. And they were like, "Well, we called an Uber XL." And so it was 5 jumping in. I didn't have room for 5, so somebody just jumped in my back.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
That probably is against Uber's regulations.
I imagine that.
And you know what? I didn't check on my Rams putter was back there. Some bitch could have been it.
Could have broken it.
Yeah. Like, I hadn't even checked on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
You didn't play golf this weekend?
No, I did not.
You've also got self-employment taxes with Uber because you're not an employee of Uber. You are an independent contractor.
The old 1099.
I can
you
not
really
tell
only
you.
got 40% of that $38 after you, and then you still got to put gas in your car and fix it up.
I had so many people reach out, and they said they really enjoyed Friday night, but they also said, "You guys have to do this on a more consistent basis."
That's
and I was
what
like,
people want.
Well, it's a pain in the ass to get. I'm the only one that's Uber certified now. Nobody else is going to want to go through the process. Don't really think I want to do it again. Now, look, money changes everything. If we can get some kind of massive sponsor, maybe once a month, I could be talked into this.
Yeah. It was kind of,
What sponsor wants to attach themselves to this?
Oh, why would you not? Look at the audience.
No, it was. I mean, there was a lot of views.
It was great content.
Yeah.
I would say Ram trucks would be really good, right?
That's right.
Yeah. We roll with Hoover Toyota, but let's throw the masses into a Ram.
The back up and just throw them in the back.
Yeah, I don't know who
Alabama.
the right sponsor would be. I'm sure we could probably find one, but it was it. I was also really surprised because I don't know. I guess Uber's safe, but 2 different of my 5 rides, 2 were single females. I don't know if they were single or not, but they were by themselves. Yeah. At night on a Friday night, getting in the back of my car downtown and letting me take them somewhere. And they were both in there. I mean, one was still in school at Bama. One had just graduated from Wofford, so they were both, 21, 22 years old. Boy, I would whip Leighton's ass if she jumped in an Uber with just a guy by herself. I just don't trust it. I don't know about you guys.
Well,
I mean, there's been plenty of news stories to give you reason not to trust it.
I mean, just go with, I said safety in numbers. Make sure at least one other person.
One other person, yeah.
I Ubered all over New York City. And I got to send you guys the best air freshener I've ever encountered. It's like a stone. This one guy had it.
A stone?
Yeah, it's like a piece
of
stone.
What did it smell like?
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
It smelled like citrus, like I was in a citrus garden.
But
I would imagine in New York you have to have some kind of air sense.
Yes. I was blown away that we got 5 out of 5 that agreed to do it live. Like, that was our biggest concern, was as people get in, Lance is going to pitch them as good a salesperson as I've ever seen, but he can only sell so much, that he's going to pitch them on this idea of, while the ride's going, we're going to stream it live to our audience. I thought it's going to take us the full 2 hours to get 5 people. We have 5 for 5.
I gave him cliff notes, though, because somebody did ask me, like, how did you get them to agree? And I was like, it was quick. They got in. Brown put it on pause.
That's right.
I said, hey.
Took them off so they couldn't hear anything.
First night of ever Ubering. Just letting you know we're having a conversation about sports. We do a sports talk show. I lost a bet. Can we continue the conversation? The camera is rolling or will be rolling, but they can't really see you. And if you really don't want to be seen, you can kind of just hang over. You really don't have to say anything. Are you okay with me continuing to roll? And every one of them said
every one of them, 5 for 5. We got done. It's so quick. I was blown away at how well that went.
I guess whatever concerns they had about being on camera were less than the concern of getting to the bar
That's
in
true.
a reasonable
Yeah.
amount of
This
time.
is-
well,
this is the guy I got. Yeah.
These 5 wanted it. They were
Yeah.
like, hey.
Oh, yeah, the Ole Miss crew. I knew that was
that
easy.
guy
Yeah.
wanted the attention. You told him 1,000 people were watching, and he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I got some hot takes."
Yeah, let me do some sports talk.
Yeah, and I try to tell them one at a time. Let's talk one at a time.
Nah,
Impossible.
Waste of time
no,
there.
No, it was like watching the Goonies, where they're all talking over each other, trying to find One-Eyed Willie's treasure.
But it was hey, it's done. So
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah, good
Bracket
job.
challenge
Good payoff.
review.
And
Very
we're,
good payoff.
We're 2 months into Brown's challenge
Yeah.
as well. So 10 more months for Brown, and all the bracket payoffs are done. There's ride number 4 up there. Forrester and company have thrown together the highlights. You can get that on all the social media platforms. But the highlight reel for you is waiting. It's around 10 minutes there at YouTube.
I think Scott says it's dropping at noon, actually, right after the show.
Oh,
Is
it's
that
not
right,
there
Scott?
yet.
Yep,
All
up
right.
at noon.
Up at noon.
Okay. So it's not there yet at 10. I'm glad I didn't say I went and watched the highlight reel. Guess it's not up yet. Not up yet. So it'll be great in highlight form for sure if you didn't watch it live. And then while we're here, Brown had an experience over the weekend. LT, take it from here. You've got the leaderboard.
Well, so I made the mistake of playing golf last Thursday with Brown and Bo, and we were out at Inverness Country
I
Club.
played Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was hot.
I don't know how you guys do it, but I was absolutely miserable. We got to the turn. I wanted to quit so bad, but went on and pushed through. Got bored on the back nine, wanted to press Brown and gamble with him. I've never seen him play that well, and I didn't realize that he was in training for the Inverness, the club championship. The senior division, right?
That's right, senior club championship. I'm 50
plus.
now. Yeah,
now I asked.
Shouldn't you have to be 50 for a whole year to enter into
that's not the way the
this?
Champions Tour works.
I mean, he knows everybody at the club. I mean, from the people working just outside, the greenskeepers to the bartenders to all the members. I mean, Brown is like the social chair of Inverness Country Club. Just walking in with him, so he wants to try to win this tournament year one. And I asked him who's the favorite, and he was like this Yeager kid. And
Daryl Yeager.
Yeah, Daryl Yeager. And I was like, well, are you right behind him? He was like, yeah, I'd be the second shortest odds. And what happens? They go out. I guess Yeager took a little bit of lead. You battled back yesterday.
Battle back.
Take it to sudden death. Let's see the scorecard there, Forrester.
I shot a 72 yesterday to force sudden death with Daryl on the 18th there.
What happened to Stephen Hayes?
Tough shot, man.
Steven.
Tough open for Stephen there. Great guy. He had a tough first hole.
So
and,
what did
and
nerves
a terrible
get?
break for
Did
him, huh?
nerves get you on the round one?
No. Oh, round one, nah. I didn't make any birdies. I mean, I pretty much played the same. I just made more birdies in round two than round one.
Well, the way the course was set up, Stephen
Very
Hayes
difficult.
is 74 on round one was
great
impressive.
round.
So on hole number one, he got a little awry on 8.
Yeah, he had a tough start, and then he got a terrible break on 4. The rough was so thick, he hit his tee shot, and we couldn't find the ball, so he had to go back and re-tee. 2-shot penalty. Yeah, that's how thick the rough is.
Yeah,
right now.
remember, I mean, I only lost 2 balls at 18 holes. And Dunaway, if I play golf ever, my goal one day is just to not lose a ball on 18 holes. I only lost 2. That's probably a record for me. But one of the 2 that I lost was right on the fringe of the fairway. It was, in my opinion, a great tee shot, and we couldn't find the ball. So that rough is kind of high.
No, it's very thick, and you're playing it down, put everything out. I mean, these are USGA rules you're playing by, so it's real golf.
Take us to 18 yesterday in the second round. What was the putt you had to make to take it to sudden death?
So
And then what
you
happened to
had to
sudden
make
death?
a putt?
No. Well, all right. So real quick on 18, we go into 18 tied. Daryl and I do, and I hit the tee shot exactly where I wanted it. He was about 25 feet left of the pin. And the 18th green is the fastest green on the course, and the greens are fast. So I'm trying to stay below the hole.
And are you able to? It's a par 4. Are you able
Par
to
far,
drive
yeah.
it?
No, I got a wedge in my hand.
Okay.
Though. I'm trying to stay below the hole, and
You technically could from those tees drive.
yeah, maybe. That's not the percentage play, but
Yeah.
So I hit sand wedge, and I think it's going to hit on the fringe and bounce forward for me, and I got a good look at birdie. Hits on the fringe, just kind of stops dead, hit really soft, so I just misjudged that. That's on me. 2-putt for par. He has about 25 feet, almost makes it. And he has par, so we go to the 18th. Well, I decide I'm going to play 18 just the way I just played it. I like the great strategy. Same club off the tee, 4 wood off the tee. And instead of stopping short of the bunker, it flies into the bunker. And I'm like, I didn't think I could hit in that bunker from there, the cross bunker there. So not only is it in the bunker, it's up against the lip, so I can't even stand in the bunker. He hits his tee shot, same place, second shot, same place. So he's got the same exact putt, and he almost made it. And Daryl's a really good player, so I'm like, he's probably going to make this second one. I couldn't get the bunker shot to the green. That's how tough a shot it was. I mean, that's a very difficult shot in normal circumstances. And then this is where I screwed up in the playoff. If you want to call it a choke, it was a choke, Jim.
I just explained by what I heard from the people walking by the studio this morning.
Yeah. I think he's going to make his birdie putt. So I'm like, I probably need to make this chip. If not, I got to get it really close. I didn't hit a good chip. I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Too aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, I just didn't hit a good chip, and he 2-putts and wins. I couldn't 2-putt, or I couldn't make my.
Was anybody out there watching, or just you two?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everybody that finished, they were standing. You know how the clubhouse is in Inverness; it overlooks 18, so they're all out there watching, clapping for the shot. So that was great. Everybody was very supportive. But hey, best player won, man. He's a better player than me. I was just happy to be in the playoff.
Yeah, we'll see how you do your first full year as a senior golfer.
Yeah. I mean, that's why the Champions Tour, when you're 50, those guys that just skid in, they can make an immediate impact.
All those Tom Kites that have been there cashing checks for 10 years are like, crap, here comes Stuart Sink.
Well, congratulations.
That was fun, though. Great event by Inverness.
To you. I know it's great to have that off your plate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, congratulations to you. Nothing wrong with a silver medal.
That's right. First year.
Yeah. And all the new friends you made at Inverness Country Club.
Great people there at Inverness. ICCalabama.com. I will say this. I played a lot of competitive golf as a youth growing up and then at Jack State. But I had not played much competitive golf other than like money games, But that's different, So to do that again was very fun. So I very much enjoyed it. I was glad to get back into the mix on stuff like that.
Well, while you're talking, tell us about Inverness Country Club.
ICCalabama.com. ICCalabama.com. That is the place you go to find out more about Inverness Country Club. You want to set up a tour and see what these guys are talking about. Beautiful club, beautiful course, great food. The people at Inverness, though, make it. The people are fantastic in Inverness. Set up a tour with our friend Aaron, 205-991-8608. They just did the ribbon cutting for the brand new tennis and pickleball facility, which I am told, I'm not a tennis guy, but I am told by people that are, it is now the best facility in Birmingham, maybe even in all of Alabama for tennis and pickleball. So if that strikes your fancy, 205, I don't know why I'm talking like I'm in the 40s. If that strikes your fancy, 205-991-8608. 205-991-8608. Get a tour from Aaron or go to ICCalabama.com. The best days happen at Inverness Country Club.
Auburn Scrimmage, our 40-40 NFL reaction, all coming up on the show. But before we go to break here, Skip Bertman passed last week. I know you guys mentioned that, 5-time College World Series champion. We lose Tommy John yesterday, 83 years of age. Had Tommy John surgery, the surgery that became named after him in 1974, and ended up pitching 26 years in the majors. Hayden Panettiere, am I saying that right? She dies at the age of 36.
I saw that overnight, and I got up, checked my phone. I see this. She had been making a comeback. Like, I never saw the shows Heroes or Nashville. I know Maddie watched Nashville.
I didn't watch either one either.
She was married to one of the Klitschko's, but she just did a memoir on mental health and how she had battled it. She was 36 years old. She had been doing like all the talk circuit tours or talk show circuit tours. And this news, like there was no cause of death. I'm assuming the worst,
right?
But just really, really
it just
sad.
Seems like these child actors have such a tortured life sometimes, and that's very, very unfortunate. And she has talked about that before, because I think a lot of people. I mean, I guess the first exposure to her was in Remember the Titans, right? Was that her first role ever?
I don't think it was her first role.
Yeah, but it was her biggest role.
It was
early
her
on.
breakout role in 2000.
Yeah.
Before that, she was in A Bug's Life in 1998.
Yeah, very sad. Very sad.
Yeah, I mean, they just don't get to have a childhood, really,
And then friends of all of ours, Joe Dean Jr. passed away over the weekend as well. I got to know Joe Dean Jr. when he was the Birmingham Southern basketball coach. A lot of you got to know him as he became an analyst for the SEC network, following in his dad's footsteps. He became an athletic director, just a well-respected, nice human being, just a tremendous guy who several times I thought was going to be the head coach at Mississippi State, and he was always like the second guy, never got that job. But he was just a tremendous ambassador for basketball in the area, and we lost Joe Dean Jr. over the weekend.
I'll tell you what, man, those games, the Raycom and JP games, that was like he and Tim Brando or he and Tom Hammond, Joe was so good. If it was a big atmosphere like Bud Walton or Rupp Arena, he would just feed off that. He was so good at what he did.
A ton of energy.
Yeah.
And I had the opportunity a couple of times when our buddy Chris Stewart was out, you did the basketball show. We did the football show forever at
That's right.
My 68.
And TTO 21.
I had opportunity to work with Joe a couple of times. Nice guy.
Yeah, Joe. Good dude, man. Good dude. He was really good at what he did.
So our thoughts and prayers with everybody's family, especially Ellen and Joe Dean Jr.'s kids and their family and the communities that he touched. Just one of the tremendously good guys in our sports world that we've known for a long, long time. And hate to see Joe go. But no, he's in a better place. When we come back, we'll get back to sports and everything going on in the world. This is the next round.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at Scott Forrester TV.
The insurance company called. They offered you a settlement. Sounds good, right? Wrong. They're counting on you not knowing what your case is really worth. They're betting you take pennies on the dollar because you're scared and overwhelmed. Don't fall for it. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys has recovered over $2 billion for going to war with insurance companies that try this every single day. Call 659-777-7777 or alexwins.law. Free consultation. You pay nothing unless they win.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Amazing stat here. Joshua Baez made his debut with the St. Louis Cardinals over the weekend. He had a home run on his first 3 at-bats. First at-bat, home run. Second at-bat, home run. Third at-bat, home run. First guy in Major League history to do that. In fact, only 2 other guys have hit a home run on their first 2 at-bats. That was Bob Neiman in 1951, Keith McDonald in 2000.
So it's a gateway to stardom, apparently.
Well, I mean,
I've never heard of one of those guys.
Here's the twist.
What?
All 3 of those guys played in St. Louis.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
So the Cardinals have had all
St. Louis Browns, St. Louis Cardinals, St. Louis Cardinals.
I mean, along with the Dodgers and Giants, Yankees, Red Sox, I mean, it is one of the great all-time baseball rivalries. But this kid's got 38 home runs in AAA, so...
Yeah. If I saw this correctly, his 4th at bat, the Cubs fans actually gave him a standing ovation.
Yeah, why not?
I mean, isn't that crazy?
I mean,
Because
home
that's
run, home run.
That's a heated rivalry, and if I saw that correctly, and I could have misseen this, but if I saw that correctly, the Cubs fans actually gave him a standing ovation on his way to the plate. Dude, it's 3 homers, and they're like, man, you got to tip your hat to him.
Going to assume pitchers are going to figure him out.
You would assume that he's not going to hit. He's on pace to what's the stat? He's on pace to hit 1,000 home runs.
Hit all of them
in his rookie season.
That's a good-looking baby blue uniform they wear, too.
And I never understand baseball or really pro sports that play a lot of games, television schedules. 6 o'clock ESPN tonight will get Detroit and Pittsburgh. Paul Skeens is on a leave of absence because he's been slacking with velocities down. All over the New York Post is him on a yacht in Miami with Livy Dunn, his longtime girlfriend. So velocity down. Let me go with Livy.
That's right.
And go off the shore of Miami. So
that
you get
that should help your velocity.
Detroit and Pittsburgh tonight, 6 o'clock on ESPN with no Skeens pitching, which would be the only reason I'd want to watch. Meanwhile, at 7 o'clock, you get Forster's White Sox playing in Wrigley against the Cubs. And is that on TV anywhere? Unless you got extra innings?
Yeah, unless you've got, I guess, MLB TV or the CHSN app. No.
Yeah. That should be the national game tonight.
Yeah,
First place White Sox and surging Cubs.
You know what's crazy? If the playoffs started today, the Dodgers are a wild card.
Are you serious?
Yeah. I mean, well, they're in a wild card matchup.
Yeah.
Because your top 2 seeds will be Milwaukee and Atlanta.
I mean, it has not gone in the regular season the way we thought it would go.
They're 5-10 in the month of August.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Not peaking at the right time, but I have a feeling they'll come around. Lance is Locked, though. You can get a play on baseball tonight. LanceIsLocked.com. Also brought to you by Hemphill.
Yeah, last couple of days really good in baseball. We were terrible over the weekend in preseason action. Get this, we had a lot of favorites over the weekend. Dogs this weekend in the NFL, 13-3. Outright.
Wow.
13-3 outright. We had a bad week, and we bounced back. Big week coming for you, Lance's Lock. Free play every single day at lanceslock.com. It is always brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, cooling, any of these issues, home or business, they are ready to serve you. Hard to stop a train. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the next round sent you. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
And our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. Leslie, her board-certified team will help you out. If you want to jumpstart your weight loss, go to the website, aplanforme.com. No contracts, no sign-up fees, and the first consultation is absolutely free. They've got the injection therapy, meal replacements, and I use protein bars to prevent bad snacking throughout the day. She's got a way that will work for you. It is Way to Wellness, planforme.com, your journey to healthy living. We appreciate those folks so much. Auburn had a scrimmage on Friday while the show was going on, so no chance to react to what Auburn had to say afterwards, particularly head coach Alex Golesh. Here's Coach Golesh, what he saw in scrimmage number 1.
We are nowhere near talking about winning football games. We're still, man, what do we got to do today to be the best version of us today? And, you know, the truth is here in a couple of days, you start school. There's elements now that will create distraction, and that's why I say humble yourself to show up and go right back to work. You know, there tends to be an element, and this is every camp, but you're 10 days in, you start feeling like, man, I've won a job, or I've won a role in this or that. And maybe at times start getting a little bit comfortable. It's like, all right, we're getting close. We're still in camp mode for another week. And that, when I say humble yourself, meaning show up, get coached, take the hard coaching, and then go perform at an elite level. only way to send that message is to continue to be honest, continue to point out things that you're seeing, good and bad, and worry about today. Don't worry about like winning, losing games. We're still 22 days out from 21 days out, I guess, from worrying about that.
A lot of people reacting to his sloppy comments as well. I felt like I had Nick Saban down to a pattern. After the first scrimmage, he was going to be sloppy, this, that.
Nothing's given.
Yeah, and then after second scrimmage, you got a little bit more honesty in what it was. No alarm bells for me on this. You're supposed to be sloppy in the first scrimmage, right?
Yeah, look, and I guess you don't want them to get too high. You obviously don't want them to get too low. I think there is more and more optimism as we get closer to the season. I do think it's fascinating, the Baylor-Auburn game over in Mercedes-Benz, but my final Uber fare of the night was a guy that had just recently graduated from Auburn, going to Odie's, by the way. And we had the conversation about Golesh, and he was like, man, I really think we can win 8, maybe 9 games this year. We'll know everything. I would say middle of October, how good this team's going to be. Now, they've got that stretch that begins in Knoxville the first weekend of October, and through October, the last weekend is at Ole Miss. I mean, at Tennessee, at Georgia, LSU, at Ole Miss. Would Auburn fans take 1 and 3 in that?
Sure, it's hard to say yes, but if you look at the big picture,
I think you have to.
I know.
Yeah, your dog's in every one of those games.
That's going to be the biggest win you've had if you get one of those.
That's a signature win already.
In the last 5 years.
Yeah. No, I would 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah, now, and if you could, you would definitely take 1 and 3 if you get the 4-0 to start the season, because you will be favored in those first 4 games. So if you're 5 and 3 after 8 with that schedule, then you can settle into maybe 8 wins.
I would just say in fall camp, there are 2 things that never panic me as a fan. Number one is the defense dominated today's scrimmage. The defense is always going to be ahead.
Yes.
Always going to be ahead and stuff like that.
They better be.
They better be, because it takes the offense time to the defense always going to be ahead. And then number 2, coach complaining about a scrimmage being sloppy early. First scrimmage, always going to be sloppy. I think you said it. Nick Saban almost always said it was sloppy.
You could take 17 years of clips after the first scrimmage, almost say the same thing.
Yeah, we're not doing what it takes to win games, stuff like that. You don't want your team, and this is kind of what Alex Golesh was saying there, you don't want your team feeling like they've arrived early in fall camp. You want them to peak, obviously, and you got to stay on their butts about doing the little things, and I'm sure that's what the coach was saying right there.
Yeah, go back and look at Friday's show for a big breakdown on Alabama's Thursday scrimmage. That's Auburn scrimmage. I will just tell you that new starters on the offensive line, tackle to tackle. I'm hearing great things, including 2 South Florida guys, about the Auburn offensive line. So that was my big takeaway from the scrimmage, is that they really feel buttoned up on that offensive line.
I will say, going back to Friday, though, our worst fears were confirmed with A.K. Deer. We were talking about how after the scrimmage, when given the opportunity to talk about injuries, he says, Corral just a little banged up. He'll be, he's not going to miss any game time.
Yeah, but he hasn't really practiced. He didn't practice in the spring. He hasn't practiced now.
Right. But then A.K. Deer, and the way that I just said, you always want to hear the coach after the game, after practice, say, he got banged up, but we looked at him. He's going to be okay. When you say, we don't quite know yet, or we're going to have more tests, that's when you get the pit in your stomach. And unfortunately, that's what happened.
Yeah, I'm hearing Georgia's the target date for him.
Well, that'd
he
be
could
great.
be back for the Georgia game.
Well, the problem was, him getting on the field last year. When he would get on the field, he was maybe the only explosive back Alabama had in that backfield, and he's still learning the nuances of the game. I forgot who the back was that was supposed to pick up the block Saturday against Minnesota, and Jackson Dart almost got killed.
Yeah.
And John Harbaugh, after he's just like, that should never happen.
Yeah, you're an NFL running back, right.
Those are the things that A.K. Deer maybe weren't picking up, and you would hope that, by the end of September, he's really picked those up with more and more game experience, but now, unfortunately, he's pushed back to October.
Yeah, ironically, the guy that's been getting so much rave reviews from the Bama camp at running back has been the 3-star guy, one-time Boise State commitment, late flip to Alabama, Trayshawn Brown.
Yep.
And now he's going to be sort of forced into being an early carrier of the football there with Daniel Hill and company in the backfield. So that's a little camp news. We'll do a little NFL reaction before we get to T-Bob Hebert, who's going to be with us in about 45 minutes to join the show. Before we talk a little NFL, you mentioned Odie's. Tell us about Odie's, LT.
Great place to go. Again, my last fare as an Uber driver on Friday night, dropped off a gentleman, to a completely packed out Odie's and Crestline, getting ready for that live music. They do it at both locations every Friday and Saturday night. The other location right there in Edgewood on Broadway and Homewood. Great food from Ronnie Davis for 4 decades now. They've got trivia every Wednesday night. Just a fantastic place to hang out. And coming up this Saturday is Bowling and Bragging right down the road from Odie. So hopefully you can take care of both of those. But stop in, enjoy lunch or dinner, the live music, those great famous cup cocktails. Birmingham Institution. It's Odie Staff.
Hey, school has started back, and you know college life. If you've got a college student in your house, it moves fast, and your banking needs to as well for those college kids. So whether it's the first paycheck, the textbook hustle, the weekend road trip, Central State Bank is here to back you up. They've got easy-to-use accounts, mobile banking, hometown service that can make adulting easier for that college student in your family. Family-owned, community-focused, always in your corner. Central State Bank, member FDIC.
Dude, Ty Simpson looks so good, having so much time to throw the football. He never had that much time at Alabama.
I watched Saturday in the pool, so I didn't watch every play, but I went back yesterday and watched every snap he took. I thought, he made 3 or 4 really difficult, 3 or 4 difficult throws. The thing is, in this McVay system, he puts his quarterbacks in the best situation. Now, there was a play, the second play right before half, where he scrambles out, completes one on the sideline for like 6 or 7 yards, but the escapability, his pocket presence, he didn't do anything wrong. Like, when you look at the numbers look just incredible, but there were a lot of easy throws. But again, 3 or 4 in his situation, first time out, very, very impressive. But I'm just saying, like, everybody, hey, there's no worry now. When Stafford hangs it up, you've got Ty Simpson right there.
I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah,
but
I still think Stetson Bennett would play if Stafford went out.
But is there a chance Ty Simpson can beat out Stetson Bennett?
That's the question.
I mean, that's what people are talking about now after.
I mean, I know easy throws, but that's what he does, and that's what Sean McVay gives you. That's coaching. That's scheming. That's what you're supposed to do. It wasn't like it was Tua Tagovailoa, who in his 5 passes for the Falcons in the preseason, average air yards was negative 0.2. He didn't throw a pass over 5 yards. Ty Simpson's passes were easy passes to open receivers, but they weren't all at the line of scrimmage.
No, and there were, the last touchdown to Dean Connors, a running back out of the backfield that has no shot, although he had 2 touchdowns, no shot at making this roster. I mean, the non-hesitation, the quick throw there. There was one to C.J. Daniels that got him inside of the rookie out of Miami, got him inside the red zone. I mean, there were some really good throws, and I loved after the fact, and people that will be pulling against the Rams this year will absolutely hate this, but every time the Rams win, there's this social media shoots out Sean McVay in the locker room talking and giving game balls out. And the guy that led the Rams at the end of Sean McVay was really, really brief this weekend was Ty Simpson. Get up here, Ty, lead the Rams out. And, it seems like all the guys in the locker room love the guy already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say real quick, I mean, to drive this home, though, they really like Stetson Bennett. He's not just a placeholder. The Rams have liked him, right?
Yeah. I mean, McVay really likes him.
So if Simpson beats him out, and it's the actual backup, that says a lot.
Yeah, this is 3rd year in the system for Stetson Bennett, so that would be big.
But it was a first-round draft pick, right? 13th overall.
It is, but you control him for 4 years. You're not paying him a ton. I don't know. I mean, Stetson's still on a rookie contract too, so he would. I bet he's getting paid less than Simpson, right?
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah, so you got a cheaper backup in Stetson, but either way, you're going to have him under contract.
I assume you guys saw the highlights, but I was watching in real time. And I've been always hesitant on Fernando Mendoza, speaking of systems, and I thought the Indiana system worked for him. But the guy was under center, play action, making plays, still scrambled, 10 of 16, 97 yards and a touchdown. And I thought he made some big-time throws. I thought I'm not the biggest Fernando Mendoza fan, and I thought he looked fantastic.
I think he's going to be really good. I think there's not a right or wrong way. We had Herm Edwards on last week, and we were talking about how you break the rookie quarterbacks in. I do think Kirk Cousins will probably be your starter for, I don't know, a month or two, and then Mendoza will end up being that guy. But Mendoza never gets rattled. Watching him at Cal, and then watching him at Indiana, and now watching him with the Raiders, and I did get to see a good part of that. The moment's not too big. It's just not.
Yeah, and speaking of looking like the teammates liked him, they were going crazy over him. He seemed to be so in charge of of the huddle and on the sidelines. And
the Raiders fans all have Mendoza jerseys now.
Oh, man.
It was crazy. I thought it looked good. And then, I don't want to jump the gun on another guy. I didn't like it, and I didn't think he'd sniff being a starter in the NFL. But I only saw the highlights of this one. I didn't watch the game, but I have read a lot of stuff. It's Drew Aller with Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
10 of 13, 153, 3 touchdowns. And a guy in Pittsburgh says it reminded him a lot of the first time Ben Roethlisberger stepped on the field for Pittsburgh.
That's high praise. I'm not buying into that, but I will say, so these 3 quarterbacks, we all had them projected as first-round guys at this point last year. Cade Klubnik, who played really well for the Jets.
5 of 7, 56 yards.
Carson Beck going back to that Hall of Fame game, and then Drew Aller. So all of those guys, mid-round picks, all by the end of the season could be the starting quarterbacks.
Because Rodgers gets hurt, is why Aller would be the starter.
Yeah,
and that would be the only way.
Well, and Mike McCarthy, I don't know what his future is at Pittsburgh, but I guess you don't bench Aaron Rodgers. But I mean, if Pittsburgh's got a losing record going into December, why would you not play the
if
kid?
He's ineffective and they're going nowhere in the playoffs, you may as well see what you got in Aller. I mean, you hate for a Hall of Fame career to end that way, but Aaron Rodgers is the one that continues to extend the Hall of Fame career. So if he can't play to that level,
and if you're Aaron Glenn and the Jets, I mean, Geno Smith is not going to take you to the promised
land. You may as well see
land.
what you got in Klubnik.
And then if you're LaFleur, a rookie coach in Arizona, why not play the rookie
why
quarterback?
not play Carson Beck?
And then the Ravens got an undrafted free agent in Joe Fagnano.
Kid from UConn.
22 of 28, 224 and a touchdown. Now, I don't know if that turns anything, but he was an undrafted free agent, and that was a pretty impressive outing. I forget what night it was, but I'm watching the Cardinals play their second preseason game, and they've got Jeremiah Love out there running crazy. He looked so good, hurdling over people, cutting in the hole. And after he did it 2 or 3 runs, I was like, take the guy out of there. He looked the part, and that only makes your division tougher.
And I was talking to my resident Cardinal fan, my buddy Drew Chop, over the weekend, and he was like, I think the Dolphins are going to be worse than us. I think we're the second worst team, but I think we'll score some points because you look at Trey McBride, you can make an argument best tight end. You look at Jeremiah Love, I mean, my gosh, he should be really, really good. Marvin Harrison had a touchdown over the weekend. I think he's going to be better in year 2. So you do have skill in Arizona.
Yeah, that Love has an ankle injury now and will not play again until the opener versus the Chargers.
I've seen enough.
Yeah, I'm not a Cardinals fan, and I was screaming at the TV because they've got a rookie coach. I was like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? And it's 2 minutes before the half, and they're running him and catching passes out of the backfield. And I said, this is how you'd never get your second year as a head coach, that you have this star who's a running back, and in a meaningless, you've got 4 preseason games, you've got your star out there in the second preseason game trying to score before the half on a 2-minute drill. What are you doing? Get him out of the game.
And I'm wondering where he'll go in these fantasy drafts because, running back is so important, his ability to catch it out of the backfield. I mean, you think he's like 5th, 6th, 7th running back taken?
Well, I mean, after you go Bijan and
Gibbs.
probably Saquon.
Jonathan Taylor.
Derrick Henry still in there?
Yeah.
Is he pretty high?
I would think Henry's.
Yeah. But Jeremiah Love gets there pretty quickly.
So that's where you get to Love?
Yeah.
Wow.
As far as not necessarily 5th overall pick, but
no, 5th running back.
Yeah, the 5th running back.
I've just got. I know a lot of people don't care at all. I've just got to see where he's ranked right now. I'm just pulling up the first one.
Yeah, here's what's funny about preseason though. Like last year at the end of the season, Jim, when the Dolphins went to Quinn Ewers, I told him, he had a good half right away, and I told my wife, I was like, you know what, maybe this is diamond in the rough.
I can live with that.
Yeah, this might be the diamond in the rough for the Dolphins. Boy, if you watched him Saturday, when Lance was doing Uber, Quinn Ewers was getting run over by Ubers. He was awful. So you just never know, man, that backup situation. They didn't waste a whole lot on Quinn Ewers. He was a late pick, and I guess I see why now.
I don't know what I'm missing here, but
Love it.
I don't see him.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's got to be on here somewhere.
Got to be there somewhere. By the way, just quick uniform thought. Titans, you nailed it. Your team may suck, but you nailed the uniform. Seeing that baby blue color instead of that dark blue color, that looked so good for the Titans over the weekend.
43rd overall, the 17th running back. I don't think he will.
For Jeremiah Love, 17th running back in a fantasy projection?
I don't think he will be that for now.
You got a deal if you
I think people probably look at the lack of production from Ashton Genty in year one behind a bad offensive line and no quarterback play, and they're probably thinking the same. Yeah.
All right. Before we do the viewing menu, tell us about Johnston RV, johnstonrvcenter.com, Brownie.
I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur is where you find Johnston RV Center, and always online at johnstonrvcenter.com, the #1 travel trailer dealer in Alabama in the month of June. That's not just somebody's opinion. That's the numbers. So why are that many people going to Johnston RV Center for travel trailers? Well, go see for yourself. JohnstonRVCenter.com or I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. Listen to this. They have a ton of trades in. That's how you get to be #1. People are trading in. So they got a lot of previously owned available, the majority of which are under $20,000. So they got some great deals. You can see more on the website, JohnstonRVCenter.com. JohnstonRVCenter.com. Travel trailers, fifth wheels, toy haulers, right there at Johnston RV Center, and everything that is new or qualifying pre-owned covered for life, lifetime warranty forever, with our friends at Johnston RV Center.
I tell you guys all the time, I made the call in 2003. I wore the contacts for about a decade. Dr. Mark Michelson Laser Vision, 205-969-8100. If you're wearing contacts or glasses, you're wasting money each and every year. Stop doing it. Stop procrastinating. Find out if you are a potential candidate for LASIK. 205-969-8100. When you call that number, ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. She's going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. You have zero to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. 205-969-8100 or michelsonlaservision.com.
Do you have a television show on Hulu returning tonight in your viewing menu?
I do.
It's amazing that it's that number of years.
It really is. If you haven't figured it out, it's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, returning for its 18th season
I've
tonight.
seen one episode about 18 years ago and did not like it at all.
Crazy, 18
That
years.
is nuts that you can go that
And
way.
DeVito is still on it.
Yep, Danny DeVito's still there, Charlie Day, Glenn Howerton.
It's got
Rob
a cult
Mack.
following, right? Like, it's the numbers aren't mainstream, but it's got just enough that it's kept it alive.
I mean, the numbers have been pretty good. It's only grown in popularity from being added to different streaming services. When it first started, it wasn't doing all that hot. It took a few seasons to really pick up a stride.
But it's still FX.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they've got a deal with Hulu, so things premiere on there as well as on the FX channel if you're still using YouTube TV or DirecTV or something like that.
So are they able to be really, like, on streaming services? Are they bound by any FCC rules, like on being on FX, or can they get out there like an HBO series can?
I wouldn't say they go as far as HBO. I would say they get out there like Paramount Plus.
Yeah,
like
or SEC
Yellowstone.
head coaches now.
Yeah.
Behind the podium.
Like the 2 or 3 episodes I've seen over 17, 18 years have been pretty raunchy shows.
Oh,
Pretty-
yeah. They get pretty raunchy, pretty edgy, pretty controversial, and even just the series first episode, they get pretty wild. But this season, we'll have new chaos, including workplace automation, a Renaissance Fair visit, and a Little League sponsorships. Episodes will also deal with inheritances, conspiracy theories, and culture shifts in drinking culture. The premiere block tonight will kick off with the episodes Frank Marries a Corpse, which is Danny DeVito's character, and Dennis and Dee Don't Get Rich. So I'm looking forward to that tonight.
Don't get rich.
Don't get rich.
Yeah.
They've Dennis and Dee have gone through some wild adventures. They got hooked on crack so they could get welfare money without getting a job. They've they tried to get hit by a car for free tickets to a World Series game. A whole bunch of different wacky schemes. I always describe it as Seinfeld if there was a gas leak in Jerry's apartment. Or if you went around the cast of Seinfeld and just dosed everyone with essence of Kramer. But I really like it.
18 years.
Yep. Tonight we've got an AMC Scream Unseen that I haven't decided if I'm going to see or not. It is the movie It Ends. Out for a late-night drive, friends turn onto a never-ending two-lane hellscape surrounded by untold horrors and cosmic forces beyond their understanding. Crammed inside a Jeep with miles stretching infinitely ahead, they face a choice: embrace their new existence or fight to escape it. So, yeah, that'd be pretty terrible. You're just on a two-lane road for eternity, getting attacked by monsters.
Yeah, that sucks.
I'm going to tell you, if you go, you'll come in tomorrow and we're going to be like, wasn't good.
Yeah, that's why I'm
The reviews have been incredible, though. Have you seen the reviews?
I haven't seen the reviews on it.
97% right now, currently.
Wow.
Wow.
Prime has added Blue Beetle to its catalog, and after seeing Spider-Man for a fourth time over the weekend with my sister, I think I'll watch Blue Beetle tonight, because that was one I always missed when it came on HBO Max. It's a DC character, and it'll be one of the few DC characters moving forward that'll be in the new universe. Also following up on that, first episode of Lanterns came out last night. I thought it was really solid. I'm really intrigued to see where they go from here. Did you get to see it?
I'm surprised. I did watch it. I was talking to Bo about it today before the show. He was like, man, I was confused. And I said, as a kid, I didn't know what Green Lantern's purpose was. So I guess he's a protector of the realm, so to speak, of the universe against aliens. And Kyle Chandler, I love Kyle Chandler. So, I watched the first episode. I thought it was good, but I don't really get Green Lantern, but I'll probably give it another shot.
So all the Green Lanterns, because there's a bunch of them, they are chosen by the Ring as well as the Green Lantern Corps, and then you're given just sort of a part of the galaxy that's yours to protect, like a police officer. They're basically space cops, and Earth is Hal Jordan's beat.
Okay.
Basically.
All right.
Okay.
And then finally,
he needs to do a better job, but I
agree.
I agree. It looks like law enforcement doesn't really like him.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. And then finally on viewing menu, one reason I'm on the fence about going to the actual movies today is because Friday after the show, or I guess last night, over the weekend, it was released that Hayden Panettiere passed away. And I really liked her character in Scream 4 and Remember the Titans. So go watch either one of those tonight. And then video game-wise, she was in a horror game called Until Dawn, which I think is really well done. And she was also the female lead in Kingdom Hearts, which was one of my favorite video game franchises growing up, and one I was actually looking to replay here recently. So now I think is a good time to do that.
Well said. Well said. That's what Tyler's watching, brought to you by Michelson. When we come back, T-Bob Hebert with us in about 30 minutes to talk football, and we'll get to our 40 and 40 team in our next segment as well. We're into the top 10 in the poll that's voted on by you guys. That's all coming up in the next round, brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Facing time for a crime, huh? Got a list of charges looming over your head. 5-0 got your back up against the wall. Them alphabet boys trying to sit you down on that rack. Well, have no fear. The People's Defender is here. Attorney J.B. Brown, powered by Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorney. He meticulously investigates every case and challenges evidence. Dedicated to protecting the rights and futures of individuals facing criminal charges. Hit him up now at thepeoplesdefender.com. Thepeoplesdefender.com.
Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champy'schicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the next round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice. Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcasts. Wherever you listen, always like, follow, subscribe, and turn on automatic downloads so you catch every part of the next round. Listen anywhere in the world at any time on the Next Round podcast feed and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Thanks for always making the next round a big part of your day.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the next round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the next round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemphill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemphill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemphill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemphill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hour number 2 of the show, we get to our 40 and 40 team, brought to you today by our friends at Hoover Toyota, hoovertoyota.com, LT.
Hey, if you're in the market right now, new or pre-owned, whether it's car, SUV, or truck, our friends at Hoover Toyota, they got the incredible inventory. They've got the on-site finance department. They're going to roll out that red carpet program. They've been doing it for 2 decades now. They want to retain you as a customer for life. Stop in, see Scott Peoples, that incredible staff. Tell them the guys from the next round sent you. For more information, you can always go online, hoovertoyota.com.
We move into the top 10 now, and the poll voted on by our listeners. So one team every day until we get to kickoff. We started at number 40, Nebraska. 11 on Friday, Ole Miss. We stay in the SEC. 1 hour before the AP poll comes out, at number 10 for us is LSU, and that gets them into the playoffs at number 10. It does feel like it's a playoff or bust type roster there in Baton Rouge.
Well, you look at what they brought in. Jordan Seaton, you bring in a guy like Sam Levitt, you're spending a lot of money in the portal. You obviously bring in a new head coach in Lane Kiffin, going into his 15th year as a head coach, 116 and 53 overall, did an incredible job in Oxford. How well will he do with an elite job now at LSU? I mean, You look at the schedule. They missed Georgia and Oklahoma, but they're possibly dogs in 4 games. As good as this roster is, they could be favored in 8 of 12. Dogs in 4. You lose those 4 games. Disappointing year.
Yeah, I'm not sure we'll have a team in the top 10 that is going to be underdogs in 4 games, to your point, right? As we move forward, that's going to be hard to find a top 10 team that's underdogs in 4 games.
Do they ever get in the top 10, though? Got to be Clemson.
They're in our top 10.
Oh, yeah, they're in our top 10. You're right. But think about this. So Clemson obviously favored. At Ole Miss, they're a short dog. I think against Alabama in Baton Rouge, based on history, they could be a short dog. The same with Texas and then at Tennessee. Then you've still got games against Auburn, hosting Texas A&M. You know, there's some difficult games on this schedule. Would I be shocked if they're 10-2 and a solid seed and make a little run the postseason? No. Would I be shocked if they were 8-4 and completely not even sniff the playoffs, like completely out of it by the first week of November? No.
I mean, it just feels like that Ole Miss game, which I think LSU is going to win, is such a pivotal moment for both those teams. Like, what does Ole Miss do to recover it? But we talk so much about that game. I think sometimes we've done it with Ole Miss. With LSU, as much emotion is in that game, you got to turn right around and play Texas A&M the very next week.
Unbelievable.
I mean, that's just a really difficult game to follow up that emotional Ole Miss game.
You feel like you're going to get better quarterback play with Leavitt. We still don't know if he's 100% from the injury he suffered last year in Tempe. But even if you get that play, how effective are they going to be running the football? We talked about programs like Alabama and Oklahoma, pathetic at running the football. LSU was dead last in the SEC last year at running the football.
And that's hard with the way Alabama ran the football.
Well, and you had a 5-star freshman in Harlem Berry coming back. You also have Caden Durham coming back. So you've got players there. And these numbers are crazy. When they went over 100 yards rushing, 6-0. Under 100 yards, 1-6.
Yeah, but they were dead last in the SEC in running the football, so that was a bad stat for them that they needed to be over 100 rushing.
Yeah.
I mean, that was just, they could not run the football effectively.
Yeah, and as I said, you had to be pretty bad to be behind Alabama.
That's right,
at running the football.
and they were.
I do think the good news is Blake Baker is, retained on that staff. What he's been able to do with the defense, as bad as it was when Brian Kelly took over the first couple of years with Jaden Daniels, defense has gotten better and better and better. And guys like Whit Weeks coming back, I think the defense is going to be good.
Here's Lane Kiffin on preparing Sam Leavitt, his quarterback, for the transition into the Southeastern Conference.
Sam Leavitt's obviously played big games, playoffs and whatnot. As a coach, is there anything you do to prepare him going into the SEC now, stadiums of 100,000, much more media spotlight, so forth, being the quarterback at LSU?
Yeah, it comes back to playing well and play to play and not getting too excited. I think in the spring he did that a little bit because he was so excited to get out there and impress his teammates, and he was so limited. And so he's really calmed down this fall and really played really well and played without a lot of emotion, which is good in my opinion, the quarterback position. It'll come out sometimes, but majority of the time you got to stay pretty level because you got a lot of people to counting on you. So he's done great. He's very mature, so I'm not concerned about the big stadium part. And he's been preparing for it his whole life.
Tommy Broadhead had LSU 24th in our ranking. Randy Belk had him number 6 in our ranking. The AP poll comes out in about 50 minutes, and we'll tell you where the AP voters has LSU in our 40 and 40 countdown. We'll get to our 4 downs, but before we do that, LT, tell us about the Sports Betting Alliance.
I would if I had copied them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Our Sports Betting Alliance friends, we'll tell you more about them on the show tomorrow.
Yeah.
In that sense, LT, tell us about New York Butcher Shop. I know you have that copy.
That's committed to memory.
I was actually in the New York Butcher Shop on Friday picking up steaks from our man Jim. Fantastic steaks all of the time. The fresh meat, from the steaks, the ribs, the chicken, the pork. Obviously, the in-house sides made fresh every single day. Fantastic selection of fine wines and desserts. Speaking of dessert, apple pie twice over the weekend. If you have not had the apple pie for the New York Butcher Shop, stop in. It's worth it just picking that up by itself. 2 locations for you. The original Cabo Heights, Highway 119 in Greystone. Rare quality, well-done service. It is the New York Butcher Shop.
And our 4 downs every day presented by Central Alabama Asphalt and Construction. They do all those, a lot of those, not all of them, but a lot of the big jobs you see, the big federal jobs, state highway repair jobs, the municipal jobs, and it might indicate to you they don't have time for your job, whether it's a parking pad at your home, a driveway, something like that. No, sir. They got an entire division based just on that. Same crews, same quality, same no excuse standards. Central Alabama Asphalt. Here's their number to get an estimate for your job, big or small. 205-349-0910, 205-349-0910, or centralalabamaasphalt.com.
First down.
What happens first? Former LSU quarterback wins a Super Bowl, or Lane Kiffin wins a national championship at LSU? I mean, the obvious would be Jaden Daniels' NFC Championship game, and Joe Burrow's played one.
Yeah.
I was going to say, did y'all decide not to just say Jaden Daniels' name anymore by threat of legal action? I'm going to say Lane Kiffin wins a national championship. I'm not happy with what the Bengals are doing on the offensive line in front of Joe Burrow. And I don't think Jaden Daniels will ever do one. He seems to have his mind somewhere else. So I'm going to go LSU wins a national championship.
Second down.
Brown, would you like to answer?
I don't know that LSU is going to win one under Kiffin is my issue there. But there again, do I feel confident Cincinnati's going to win one? Cincinnati we're talking about here, as good as Burrow is, they have historically found a way not to win championships.
Could you not see Burrow, though? And look, I'm sure he's happy and having a great time, and we saw, the house he's got in Cincinnati. But if they, we're looking right now, Bengals in September under Zach Taylor, 9-16-1 in 7 seasons.
That's a bad start.
If they went out and they were 7-10 this year and the offensive line gave up 45 sacks again, I mean, would you guys be surprised if Burrow's like, I got to get out of here?
I mean, just great quarterbacks never make it to free agency in their prime, ever. I mean.
No, but he could get traded.
I guess you could trade him. Yeah.
I mean, I would look at, if I'm a team out there, if I was in a Rams situation where you have all the pieces except quarterback, like Minnesota with Joe Burrow would be third, fourth favorite.
Justin Jefferson back up?
Right now in the NFC. So
right now he's only under contract through the 2029 season. I mean, relatively speaking, that's not that long.
No, I mean, but it would have to be a trade. You're just good quarterbacks never get to free agency.
Yeah, I don't know if it's expected that Jaden Daniels or Joe Burrow will ever win one. I'm going to go with a combination though. It is expected.
I'll take a combination.
I would not sign another contract. To your point, at Cincinnati, I'd play this out and bet on myself to make some money in free agency.
Oh, if he got to free agency, boy, the line would start at the door for sure.
I mean, he signed a 5-year, $275 million. Even if it's over with in 2029, I'm okay financially.
That's right. Yeah, I just want to win it. I want to win a championship.
Legacy at that point.
Second down.
Oscar winner Sean Penn, 66. National champion and Olympic gold medalist Christian Laettner, 57. In their prime, who was the most disliked one, Sean Penn or Christian Laettner?
Christian Laettner.
I think it is Laettner. Yeah. People hated him. He just embodied everything you hated about Duke to begin with. And then they were really, really good. So it was easy to hate Duke, but he was the embodiment of that hate. Like, I think he and Bobby Hurley were the two Duke players that everybody looked at and hated.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a college player that has been hated as much as Christian Laettner.
I would tend to agree, yeah.
I mean, that's actually a 30 for 30.
I hate Christian Laettner.
I hate Christian Laettner.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember why there was hate for Sean Penn.
Well, I mean, he fought with paparazzi a lot. He's married to Madonna, very out there. He's very, very outspoken politically, too. Doesn't show up at some of the award shows when he does. Goes on these rants. He's just been a dislike guy for a long time. Great actor.
Poor Cherokee Parks folled Christian Laettner, and everybody was like, oh, I'm going to hate him too. Big, tall, white guy.
Right. He's got floppy hair.
Floppy hair, white guy. I'm going to hate him too. And Cherokee Parks like, I mean, what did I do?
Yeah, my parents were hippies.
Yeah, I just followed Christian Laettner. What did I do?
And all he was Christian Laettner light.
I know. I'm not even as good as him. Why are you hating me?
Third down.
Robert De Niro, 83 years old. Ultimately, better career. Was it Robert De Niro or Robert Redford? Very difficult one here.
I'll go Redford.
I think I would go Redford as well.
Yeah.
I like the iconic roles from De Niro more, but I think Redford never sold out for bad like Old Grandpa. Also, Sundance Festival. I mean, Robert Redford was just so well respected in that industry.
Also, Robert Redford wasn't a complete tool to everybody who ever tried to interview him or ask him a question.
So I'm assuming De Niro was. Is what
De Niro is, yes.
Yeah, it also made
the
films.
worst interviewee you'll ever see.
Like A River Runs Through It. It's a really, really good film. I mean, Redford, even up until his final days, really. If you've ever seen that, what's the disaster when he's out on the boat by himself? I forgot what it's called, but he was nominated for Best Actor into his late 70s. So, yeah, I would agree with you guys. I'd go Robert Redford.
Yeah, great salad dressing, too.
That's Paul Newman.
Oh.
But they were a great team. Yes. Hey, but Newman and Redford together, that was a fantastic duo.
Yeah, they were.
So good.
I was just looking through Redford's filmography. I think outside of Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Charlotte's Web, the only one I've seen is Jeremiah Johnson.
That's a great film, though.
And he gave us a great meme, too.
I've got
you never saw
DVD.
Indecent Proposal?
No, I haven't. I don't know.
You have missed nothing with that one.
Great love story.
What was one of the last films? It was the Send Help or It Ends Bad or.
Let's see. In 2020, he was in Omniboat, a Fast Boat Fantasia. He was in Avengers Endgame, The Old Man and the Gun, Our Souls at Night. Discovery, Peach Dragon, Truth, Walk in the Woods.
Damn.
Yeah, what title were you thinking of?
It's Disaster. He's at sea. Ends bad.
That's Indecent Proposal. He was on the yacht.
That's true.
It was the last time he was nominated for an Academy Award. It was really good because it's just him. I mean, there's no dialogue.
All is Lost.
All is Lost.
In
Terrible
2013, only 51 spoken words in the script, and Redford is the sole cast member.
Yeah, cheap movie to make.
Yeah, it was very, very good, though.
4th down.
Davy Crockett would have been 240 just because I asked this last week, and I got some Nick Saban over Magic Johnson. I'm going to go on and ask it again. Davy Crockett or Nick Saban?
Oh, it's got to be Nick Saban. I mean,
Davy Crockett was a war hero.
He was a war hero.
We've written songs. We've done movies on him.
Nick Saban's a football hero.
Yeah, but Nick Saban really did it. The other one's a folk hero.
That's right. Do you really even know Davy Crockett accomplished everything you are told he accomplished?
Was
Wikipedia
even real?
says.
Was even you saw it? With Nick
James,
Saban.
give us some Davy Crockett here.
Davy.
So he was apparently a politician
He
and
was.
militia officer as well.
Both true.
Representing Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be honest. Until today, I thought he was like a folk hero,
See?
like not a real person, or like somebody who did exist, but whose accomplishments were exaggerated greatly.
Yeah, but he was coonskin hat, right?
Yeah.
Did you know that Dunaway had to wear a coonskin hat for a week?
Lost a bet.
By the way, ran away from home when he was 13, so he didn't get along with his parents.
This is not Nick Saban. This is
it's
Davy Crockett. Okay.
To avoid school and his father's temper, so he got the backhand occasionally.
Wow.
Boy, I bet back then they did get their asses whipped.
Favorite rifle was named
1800s.
Betsy.
Mm-hmm. And if you've ever been to the Alamo, you're like, maybe we should have let him have this one anyway. Why did we fight for this?
It wasn't worth it?
Yeah, a little smaller than what I would have imagined.
Yeah, it's so strange.
You'd fight harder for walk-ons?
Yeah. We got something better down the street than the Alamo. As
Alamo
Dunaway likes to
didn't
say,
have those ribeye sliders.
no, as Dunaway likes to say, if you drop the Alamo in Greystone, you couldn't get $300,000 for it.
Yeah, I don't know if
Too small.
Dunaway knows, but our kickoff party a week from this Thursday, the 27th.
I found out moments ago. So that's the how am I supposed to say it, Brooks? The 5th anniversary party,
That's
our
correct.
kickoff party this year, a week from this Thursday at Walk-Ons.
Mm-hmm. 280. Walk-ons 280.
280.
Well done.
More Pappy to give away. other
Presented by
giveaways.
Bud Light and our friends at Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. So that's happening a week from this Thursday night. Make plans to come hang out with us and watch some college football on the TVs with us there at Walk-Ons. That should be a lot of fun. That's our 4 downs today. Show being brought to you in part by our friends at Alexander Shunnarah. Let's do the spotlight, Tyler, man. Hit that thing.
The College Football Spotlight.
Shunnarah brings you that every single day. Shunnarah.com, Shunnarah.com. He is a Birmingham guy, Birmingham born and bred, wanted to help his community. So he built one of the greatest law firms in the world right here in Birmingham. And $2 billion for his clients later. They're still kicking. How about 150 attorneys under his roof? How about 500 dedicated team members? That's what you get with Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Shunnarah.com. You don't pay a dime unless they win your case. Shunnarah.com.
Listen, I know A.K. Deer's a big injury for Bama. Nakos and others reporting he's out about 6 weeks. Should be back for the Georgia game if everything plays out well. Tennessee lost their starting safety for the year. Andres Farouk, torn patellar. He's done for the year. And then South Carolina, one in Saturday scrimmage, one in practice last week, lost 2 wide receivers behind Nick Harbor. Looking for somebody other than Nick Harbor at receiver. They lost both Jaden Gibson and Jaden Sellers at wide receiver, both done for the year.
God, that's awful for Shane Beamer because it's such a pivotal year for Beamer.
Yeah. I mean, and to lose them in fall camp. I mean, you lose a guy for a year anytime it sucks, but at least in a game, you're like, it was in a meaningful moment. In fall camp, man, it's just so hard to swallow.
And Sellers, the younger brother of Lenore's.
Yeah.
Ohio State did something that it makes sense, but it's weird. They have moved senior day to week 1 against Ball State.
I hate this.
I like this.
Because it gets all the emotions off the Michigan game.
How many times have you guys been to the Iron Bowl and you got all this hype and everybody's cheering, and then we do the Place kicker from Toledo, Ohio, John Smith.
50-year walk-on, Ryan Brown.
And then you got 4 or 5 where the crowd goes crazy. But, I mean, it takes forever to get through.
I agree in a big game like that. But, like, move it up Northwestern November 14th. Just make it deeper in the season.
You can do that. The problem with that is you send the message to Northwestern, we think you suck so bad. I mean, at some point that's going to bite you.
Senior Day becomes the new homecoming.
That's right.
Well,
So
I don't think Ohio State needs to worry about that. First of all, how many seniors make it to be seniors at Ohio
State?
State?
Senior Day is now it's really just going to be all the walk-ons because most of the guys have transferred out or going to the NFL.
Well, there's 2 ways to look at this. As an underclassman, I was like, you don't want to send. Let's send the seniors outright. We're going to win this game.
Yeah.
But then if you're an emotional player and you got emotional parents, now you're crying pregame and you're out of the mode. Everything's different. You're going out 12 minutes ahead of the kick. Nick Saban's coming out at Alabama, or in this case, Ryan Day's coming out. He's not where he normally is 12 minutes before
That's what I
kick.
used to think about. Yeah.
And now everything's out of sync.
I used to go, you'd be at these big Iron Bowls, and with something on the, like 2013, take for instance, the Kick 6 game, where you knew everything was on the line of that game. And 20 minutes before the game, there's Gus Malzahn out there handing bouquets of flowers to players and kissing mamas.
It's
and
just different.
It's just you're out of your norm for a big game.
But does this ever happen if Ryan Day ever beats Michigan and Columbus? I don't think they've beaten Michigan and Columbus since 2018.
Is that right?
Yeah, probably not.
So,
but I'm looking at it from a fan's perspective. Like, I agree with you, big game like that, but on September 5th against Ball State, I mean, what is it? My balls is hot. Like, I don't want to sit out there any longer than I have to.
Yeah. There is that. There is that aspect.
Big move there from Ryan Day, doing something different, trying to take a little pressure off of that Michigan game. When we come back, we'll get to our buddy T-Bob Hebert, part of the Barstool family, and he wakes up every morning with Barstool. It's a great show. It's right there on FS1, and we'll talk to T-Bob coming up on the other side. Show being brought to you by our buddy Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing. Greg from Pell City, his wife Andrea, they own the company. It's been locally owned for over 2 decades now. He'll take care of everything on your rooftop. All you have to do is call or text his cell number. Just text this number, 205-542-3531. 542-3531, and say, hey, Greg, I want that free no-cost roof inspection. He'll give you that and start the process there with no obligation, but he'll get up there and tell you what's going on with your roof, and you'll probably develop a relationship with Greg at that point. That you'll say, man, I want this guy to take care of my roof for as long as I own a home. He does storm damage repairs, roof replacement, but it all starts with that free no-cost roof inspection. He's great with the insurance providers. He's A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. So text him right now or call him up, 205-542-3531, or look him up, stormrestorationroofing.com, or Greg from Pell City on Facebook.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
You know, sometimes injury attorneys get a bad rep, being called ambulance chasers, showing up to the accident scene before the EMTs get there. At Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys, this ain't that. We get enough cardio, no need to chase ambulances. Look, if you're injured in any type of accident, don't accept a dime from the insurance company. Hit up the gators of the litigation situation. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or AlexWins.law.
Call me, Alabama. Physical office location, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champy'schicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats all in one place, nextround.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know, you might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all of your favorite Next Round gear by visiting nextround.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at nextround.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from nextround.store. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple-header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
I got to miss all the number 5 controversy last week with Jaden Daniels. We're bringing T-Bob Hebert in here, and I will just say this so that I'm on record on what I feel about the jersey number 5. The 20-year from now you is going to hate the you right now for ruining relationships at LSU that you're going to wish you had 20 years from now. That's all I would say about jersey number 5 and Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
And if your agent or your mom is pushing you to do this, when you're done giving them 7% or giving your mom 7% of whatever you're making and you're just another dude, you're going to wish you had the LSU family in your corner.
Yeah. T-Bob Hebert, one of our favorites. You know, we've loved T-Bob for years. Barstool Sports. Wake Up Barstool is a tremendous show. He does that every single morning there.
I love
from
it.
Chicago.
I love that show.
Well, first of all, T-Bob, hope you're doing well. How you doing, man?
Boys, it's great to see you. Nobody could hear me during the commercial break. I made a good joke.
What'd you say?
What is it, Central State Bank?
Yes.
They sound like they'd make a great husband.
Big enough to
I'll let everybody work that one out on their own.
That's very good. Very good.
But life is good, boys. Life is good. I mean, here I am prepping for college football, and I don't even have to think about Alabama. It's actually unbelievable. Like they never come up in any conversations. I've been reading all the preview magazines. By the way, magazines could not be more back. Absolutely fantastic. Forget about your phone. It sucks. It's a device designed to ensorcel you and melt your attention span and rot your brain. Grab yourself an off-the-rack ink in the hands magazine, okay? Short little snippets that are going to make you get just right. But yeah, life is good. Nobody talks about Bama. It's awesome.
So T-Bob has invested in Athlon.
That's
okay.
right.
Okay,
That's right.
very good.
Yep.
No, I've read Athlons. I've read Sporting News ones. I've read Pick Six previews. Those are the only 3 right now. Eventually, maybe I'll get to Phil Steele, but I think I might be running out of gas here at the end. But this is not just that. I've been a subscriber to the National Geographic History magazine for years now. I take that to the trampoline park with the kids while they jump around. Like, I'm telling you guys, your phone sucks. We all know it sucks. It yells at us constantly. It diverts your attention into useless endeavors. Magazine doesn't do that to you. It gives you wonderful little like bite-sized tapas of information that you can pass around and get little water cooler talk for the office. They're the best.
So let's start with Alabama because you brought them up. I mean, they are coming out. I mean, T-Bob, say what you want, but from 9 wins to 11 wins, there was improvement, although the offense looked completely out of sync. Amazing that offense was that bad with a first-round pick in Ty Simpson. You look at the schedule this year, they've got a very doable SEC schedule. If they split the 4 difficult games and go 10-2, they're back in a college football playoff, but I don't think Alabama fans are necessarily excited about that. I mean, what do you think that the ceiling for Kalen DeBoer in the next 3 to 5 years is?
How interesting. You're telling me that Alabama fans would not be happy going 10-2 and making the playoff, a very objective measure of success that 99.9% of schools would be ecstatic for. It's almost as if there's a warped perspective amongst the fan base. It's almost as if there was a prophet, a harbinger of these things that was saying for years that your own success would become the thing that would cause you the most misery. Because you're right. Nobody believes me when I say this, because every SEC schedule looks hard, especially in a 9-game era. But like, when held against other SEC schedules, Alabama has one of the easier draws. And I know it includes Georgia, it includes, like, I know what it includes, but still, relative to the rest of the conference, this is the friendliest schedule I believe that Kalen DeBoer has had since he's been at Alabama. The secondary is going to be incredible. Really, look, okay, I don't want to get too lost here. The point is, yes, Alabama could absolutely go 10-2 and make the playoff. But as you just pointed out, that doesn't seem to excite Alabama fans. I don't know what that means for Kalen DeBoer. Has Alabama taken a market step back under DeBoer? Objectively, absolutely, there's no way around it. But then again, how much of that is because he's taken over from the greatest to ever do it in an era that was conducive to being the greatest to ever do it? So, like, there's a lot of nuance here. Here's what I'll say. Alabama's just got to get the line fixed. And y'all know better than me in terms of, like, if you're believing in the transfers, what you're hearing coming out of camp. But, like, for Alabama to have an offensive line, and LSU's in the same boat. So this is like, we're actually kind of like misery loves company here. The fact that LSU and Alabama could not line up on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, and get first downs is completely inexcusable. And I'm not saying you got to be like old school run first Derrick Henry, Leonard Fournette offense. I'm not saying that. But you got to be able to fire off the ball. You got to be able to control the line better than both those teams did last year. And you got to be able to protect the quarterback. I mean, hell, if they do a better job of protecting Ty Simpson last year, maybe their ceiling's higher. But then again, I guess the Indiana game tells the story, right? There is never, like, as absurd as the Indiana story is, and it's the wildest story maybe in sports history, like outside of like Leicester City winning the EPL. But the maybe the highlight of that story is what they did to Alabama in the Rose Bowl. Like 5 years ago, that would have been the single most inconceivable box score that you could ever imagine. Like if you were to write that out on a piece of paper, there was a 0% chance it was ever coming true. So if Alabama gets the lines right, yeah, they're going to be great. Because the secondary is incredible. I don't know what's going to happen with Ryan Williams this year, but I'm hearing good things about Keelan Russell, right? Is that who's going to win the job?
I would say he's the favorite, wouldn't you say?
By the time you get to the end of the year, I would say he's the starter. Wouldn't surprise me if Austin Mack starts game 1 against East Carolina.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. I had maybe gotten some bad info then that Keelan was kind of running away with the competition. But either way, again, Alabama – judged against a normal college football program is still awesome, still has way more talent than almost everybody in the country, and still can be a college football playoff team but it's not what the fans are used to. They're not used to like, okay, here are the 8 teams that can win the national championship, and Alabama's not mentioned.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to ask you. Could I take 2011 T-Bob Hebert and drop him into a practice at Georgia, in Tuscaloosa, in Baton Rouge, and could you recognize good football still compared to what you saw in 2011? Like, would the depth look totally different? Would you be dropped in and say, man, I don't know how good this team is? Is it just so much parity now? I mean, you guys had so much depth in 2011. Alabama had depth. Georgia had depth recently. Has the game changed that much to where nobody's got depth anymore? Could you recognize a good team right now with your 2011 eyes?
It's an interesting thought exercise. I would still venture to say that like you said, you mentioned the word depth, and that's right. The starters absolutely still feel like that era. So like, yeah, maybe you're missing it when you're talking about the ability, because like I always think about the Fournette Derrick Henry year of LSU Alabama, and it all jumbles around in my head. But that Alabama defensive line was 3 deep of like first and second round NFL players.
Right.
Like that was the Jonathan Allen line, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
It was the most absurdly talented group, position group I think I've ever seen in my entire life. So I don't think that exists anymore. Starting still probably relatively similar. The bigger thing that I would probably have trouble recognizing would just be the schemes and the offense. I mean, we've evolved so much from that time period. Everybody's coming out of 2-point stances, much higher emphasis on pass blocking, obviously, versus running the ball. So I don't think it would be like super drastically different, but to your point, I think it's a pretty objective and agreed upon idea that it has been democratized, right? That we have one funnel coming down from the top tier rosters of yesteryear, where guys that used to ride the bench or sit on the roster, they're spreading out this way. And then I read a crazy stat. If you look at the group of 6 all conference teams last year, I want to say out of the like 72 first team players, I think 30 are back at their school.
Wow.
So like you have this other funnel. So it's only like 30%. So then you have this other funnel of guys that have proven themselves on lower levels. And now they're going. So you have this sort of like 2 funnels meeting in the middle, and it creates just a much more spread out, solid across the board college football, which I think is, as much as we bitch and moan, and understandably, about some things that annoy us about college football currently, I actually do find that democratization to be pretty fun on a Saturday to Saturday basis, because it means there's a lot more consistent and solid football being played everywhere.
Barstool's T-Bob Hebert with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline. Realistically, I'm not just talking fans here, but fans contribute to this, obviously. Realistically, success for Lane Kiffin's year 1 at LSU, T-Bob, is what? What is?
I think there's like a super easy objective measure here. You have to go 10-2 and make the playoff. Like if you want it to be like if you're someone who is it likes engaging in nuance and gray area, you can look and be like, well, LSU's like I think it's like 5-13 in the last 18 SEC games, something like that, and they're averaging up to 21 points in that stretch, and it's not very good. And look at the schedule. The schedule's tough, certainly. So 9-3 would be quite the accomplishment. Like, that's a like logical conversation that I'm willing to have, but it's a conversation that requires so many qualifications that it is shattered into infinite pieces when held against the fact that you paid over $100 million to effect coaching regime change. You poured $40 million into this roster. We live in an era in the portal where when Curt Cignetti sets the bar, even if it's an impossible bar, that is the bar. Like, immediate turnarounds are possible. And you invested all the money for immediate success. Not to be good 2 years from now, not to be good 3 years from now. Landry, all the power brokers in Louisiana, they did this all to be good this year. And so I don't care that you got Texas on the schedule. I don't care that all that. Like, if LSU wants to be a success here in year number 1, they got to go 10-2 and make the playoff.
We just previewed them, T-Bob, and I think there's a possibility they could be underdogs in 4 games. Possibility.
Wow.
With that said, Clemson, obviously, they're a heavy favorite, 9.5. I mean, what's the mentality if they were to lose that game? I mean, it doesn't seem losable right now, but, Clemson had all the heat going into last year. They end up winning or losing that game to LSU. Brian Kelly finally wins an opener, ends up getting fired, and, Clemson completely falls apart.
Yeah, the deepest of ironies with how last year started, thinking like, oh, my God, the monkey's off the back. You win that game. Clemson's so good. Here we come, Ty, and then Kelly's fired. No, that's a 5-alarm, launch the nukes, like, let's just end it all if you lose to Clemson. Because I also love that game kind of from a thematic and narrative standpoint. Because in Clemson, you have this sort of bastion of old school, stalwarts, Dabo been dragging his feet into this new era of college football. We're all pronouncing their death because of that. They don't even enter the conversation when you talk about the ACC now. Like, you talk about the ACC, you go to Miami, and then you're like, ooh, man, maybe Louisville. They're kind of frisky. They're kind of fun. And then eventually you arrive at Clemson later on down the road. So, like, Clemson trying to do things still their way. LSU, the polar opposite, especially with the new governor and everything and the new school, everybody in power at LSU now. They've gone all in on this new era. We're just going to throw so much money at the problem that we're going to make sure that it gets fixed no matter what. And you got Lane Kiffin because he is supposed to be the best game day play caller and arguably best game day coach in the entire country. And so if he were to come out and lose at home to Clemson in the opener as nearly a double-digit favorite, that's a disaster. And it shows, I would think, objectively that you are, like, there's no way you're hitting 10-2 if you lose that game. There's just no way with that schedule. And so, and this is what I love. This is why I love big-time Power 4 out-of-conference matchups. Already, week number 1, LSU's fans' balls are going to be in their throat. The sphincters are going to be tightening across Louisiana. You're going to have nerves in the belly before the game ends. You're knowing you're in a roller coaster 4-hour fist fight. You're excited. You're going to be disappointed. I love that feeling. I feel bad for the Notre Dames and the Texas Techs of the world who will suffer the same fate that Ohio State fans did last year, where they basically sleepwalk through the entire season. They have nothing to live for. Then they finally run into a good team. They get punched in the mouth and they don't know how to respond. So it's going to be, everything is going to be on the line for LSU immediately in week 1.
I don't want you to come on and not share with us your thoughts on Jaden Daniels and everything, because I know you've done it on your platform, but you gave up brain cells and blood for that uniform and that school. What are your thoughts on that jersey number 5 controversy?
So many people seem like offended by what Daniels did. I don't find myself offended. I think that when you are talking about alpha male elite athletes, especially quarterbacks, especially ones that could rise to the level of being so good that they win the Heisman Trophy, I don't think anything is out of the realm of possibility as far as their ego is concerned, right? Like, I understand Jaden Daniels being feeling slighted that they gave that number to DJ Pickett. Now, like, as an LSU fan, I don't care. DJ Pickett was a freshman All-American. Like, he's the guy that's going to be good for this team, and if they're going to make the playoff, he's going to be a massive part of it. So I think here's where I land with Jaden. Is the single thing that I hate most about this entire conversation is it makes you talk negatively about a guy who was objectively awesome in your uniform. We have 3 Heisman winners in school history. It's so unbelievably rare. What he did on a per game basis statistically was equal to that of Joe Burrow. And it was even more exciting in some ways. Like, if you look at that Florida game from that last year, what he did with his legs, it was unreal to watch live. It was fun. He had the unfortunate hand that he was dealt was he got paired with, like, maybe the worst defense in school history outside of 2020. And so the problem with this conversation is, because then it morphs into this, well, nobody's wearing Burrow's number, even though he's taking not retired. And you pit these guys against each other, and then you end up highlighting flaws in one of the best players that you've ever had at your school's history. It's like if you ever do like a top 10 list. Let's say you do a top 10 quarterback list. Objectively, all those quarterbacks are incredible, but the nature of that discussion means that you're going to pick. And it means that you're going to critique and find all the areas in which they are negative in order to rank them and put one over the other. Whereas, like, we should be celebrating Jayden Daniels. And because of this very self-inflicted drama that has been created, yeah. And I'm shocked by, like, it's gone everywhere. Like, MLB teams are out here, like, making 5 jokes. Like, the national resonance, and part of that's the news cycle time of the year, but the national resonance of this story is taking on is pretty insane as well. So, and like, I had fun with it. I did, like, a bit on Friday where I, like, did a whole, like, Odysseus, like, poem thing about it and kind of making fun of him. But really, I love Jayden Daniels. I'm going to continue to love Jayden Daniels. And I hope that, like, cooler heads end up prevailing in all of this, and this just becomes a kind of footnote and his process. Like, doing this too when he's at such an important part of his NFL career in the middle of camp, like, that's insane as well. It's just really terrible PR, just terrible public relations on a masterclass in what not to do from that perspective.
Quickly, before we get you out of here, a couple of Chicago-specific questions. First off, how was your first winter in Chicago? And then second, who is the bigger Chicago celebrity right now, PCA or Caleb Williams?
Ooh, okay. First winter was first winter wasn't bad, boys. Like, because here's the deal. Everybody here is already very cynical about the cold and the snow. I'd never lived anywhere where it snowed. So to me, we got like actual fall. Like, I'm bringing my kids trick-or-treating and there's like brown leaves falling and like a cool autumnal crisp hardening my nipples. Then all of a sudden it snows and it's December. Like, it's Christmas and there's snow on the ground. That's awesome. So I loved it. Now, middle of March, when I'm waking up at 4:30 and getting in the car and it says 4 degrees, that was tough. There were some days there where I was like, I'm done, but overall very fun. Fireplace, I got a fireplace.
Wow.
I had a tree get struck by lightning the other day, and like a man, I bought a chainsaw and I chopped it up, and now I'm loaded down for winter. No more buying little bundles from the gas station for your boy. We are loaded down with a full cord of firewood for winter this time around. So I'm looking forward to it. PCA is incredible. The Cubs are super fun. Hell, even the White Sox are super fun this year. But ultimately in Chicago, football is king. Football is king. And the Caleb Williams hype around the city right now, the man is akin to a deity, like half human, half deity. Now, the only thing that I wonder is his success last year. It's kind of what you want. Like, we know he can do the otherworldly stuff. His big critique is, can he do the more fundamental stuff more consistently? And I think that's where you want a guy to be, because you can actually teach that stuff. You can't really develop the, like, running backwards, jump past quarter of the end zone, perfect time for a game-winning touch. Like, that's the impossible stuff. But that's also the stuff that's hard to replicate. And so, like, if you're like an analytical mind and you're thinking like, okay, what are indicators of regression potential? I think Caleb would kind of score high on that list. That said, everybody here has fully given themselves over to the idea that Caleb Williams is a top 10, top 5 quarterback, and that the Bears are going to be awesome.
All right, he is T-Bob Hebert, always kind with his time with us. Go support everything he does here at Barstool. Wake Up Barstool is a terrific show for your mornings. Get it started, and it goes right into us. You never have to stop.
Yeah,
that's right. T-Bob53 on Twitter as well. T-Bob, thank you, buddy. Have a great week.
All right, boys. It's been too long. Love you guys.
Yep. Love you, brother. We'll do
Later.
it again soon. Bye. T-Bob with us on the Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys Hotline.
And the show being brought to you today by our friends Mo Mike, man.
Hey, if you are in the market right now, you want to do something with the backyard, it's an eyesore. I've been there before. My deck was falling apart. I had to get somebody out. I asked around. I couldn't find anybody. And our man Greg from Pell City was like, you need to call Michael Battle at Mo Mike. I did it. They came out. They demoed the deck. They put a new one up. Absolutely loving it. What if your backyard became your favorite room in your house? At Momite Construction LLC, they believe a deck is more than lumber and screws. It's where birthdays are celebrated, families gather, friends laugh, memories are made. Whether you're looking for a classic backyard deck or a custom outdoor entertainment space, they will build with craftsmanship, quality, and attention to every single detail. Imagine a beautiful covered deck, warm fireplace, outdoor kitchen, elegant lighting, big screen TV for game day this fall. Every project designed with your vision in mind, built to stand the test of time. Write this number down. Call for the free estimate, 205-746-9901. That is 205-746-9901. Call Momite Construction LLC today for a free consultation. Let them build the outdoor space you've always imagined, and make sure you tell them the next round sent you.
And from Mo Mike to Mo Speed with our friends at Talladega, the Talladega Super Speedway, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Playoff racing returning October 23rd through the 25th. It's the Yellowwood 500 Racing Playoff Weekend at Talladega. You can get your tickets right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Pick your seats, or better yet, upgrade to the Garage Experience, the most immersive garage experience in all of NASCAR. Up close and personal, TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. Get your tickets for Yellowwood 500 Weekend, October 25th, right now at TalladagaSuperspeedway.com. AP poll out, top of the hour, 6 minutes away from that. We'll spend a lot of the next segment reacting to the first AP poll that's out. But some reaction over the weekend to Jaden Daniels, as T-Bob was saying. Everyone is trolling him. Everyone. The Orioles account on MASN went from 4 to 6 runs out of respect from Jaden Daniels. They post a 2-run homer from 4 to 6 runs. They post that there. It was the Mets beating the Nationals 4-1, and the Mets posted stopped at 4 out of respect for Jaden Daniels.
That's pretty good.
The Mets one. StubHub had a crazy one. Effective immediately, we will no longer offer tickets in groups of 5 out of respect for Jaden Daniels. We're only doing 4 or 6 plus. Thank you for your understanding.
Wow.
That from
amazing.
StubHub.
Damn, I didn't realize that he would be run over this much. We talked about it last week, obviously, when you were out. I don't understand the whole – I mean, we've all agreed with this. You don't retire numbers.
Right.
And it's not like a Joe Burrow situation. It's not like he won a championship for him to get this upset about it when the number even wasn't retired.
The Dolphins played the Commanders in preseason this weekend. The Dolphins' own personal account, the Miami Dolphins account, actually put number 5 Jalen Wright on the graphic for the game against the Commanders.
So good.
So the Dolphins account did that. Columbia football.
By the way, Dolphins, Commanders, those quarterbacks combined for – I'm talking about both teams, Dolphins and Commanders, 23 of 51, no touchdowns, 4 picks.
Yeah, it's hard to do.
Excitement to watch.
Didn't throw 5, though.
That's true. Out of respect for Jaden Daniels.
Columbia football, one of the worst football programs of all time, posted this. Out of respect for Jaden Daniels, we have removed the 5-yard line from our field for the upcoming year. And the best one of all was from Football Crave. They said Jaden Daniels' lawyers are considering legal action against Dr. Fauci after he pleaded the 5th over 100 times.
Pretty good.
The trolls continue. We go to the AP poll when we come back. The show being brought to you by our friends at Crane ULT. Tell us about those wonderful folks who can help you change careers.
Yeah, if you're at the career crossroads right now, curious maybe about a career in the crane industry, first big step, getting certified, becoming fully compliant, Crane U is here to guide you every single step of the way. From first-time operators to seasoned professionals seeking the recertification, their industry-leading training programs built for all experience levels, backed by a team with over 100 years of combined real-world expertise. Crane U delivers the knowledge, hands-on skills, and confidence you need to succeed in the field. Inspections, training, certifications, whatever you need, Crane U's got it handled. It's the one call you make and you're good. For more information, craneu.com. That is craneu.com.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Dump trucks, delivery vans, tankers, 18-wheelers, 35 types of commercial vehicles share the road with you every day. When one hits you, trust me, the company's lawyers are already moving. You should be too. Over $2 billion recovered. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys are ready to fight for you. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law for your free case evaluation. Don't wait. Alexander Shunnarah trial attorneys. 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Never miss anything from the Next Round when you listen on demand through the podcast platform of your choice, Apple, Spotify, iHeart, or Google Podcast, wherever you listen. Always like, follow, subscribe, turn on automatic download so you can catch every part of the Next Round. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed, and support the show by following, subscribing, and turning on automatic downloads on any podcast platform. Listen anywhere in the world, anytime on the Next Round podcast feed. Thanks for always making the Next Round a big part of your day. Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. Been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The 2026 Yellowwood 500 weekend is returning to the Talladega Superspeedway Friday, October 23rd through Sunday, October 25th. The triple header chase weekend at Talladega features 3 days of high-intensity racing across 3 series, capping off with the Yellowwood 500 on Sunday. Guarantee your spot now by visiting TalladagaSuperspeedway.com or calling 877-GO-TO-DEGA. And enhance your race weekend by adding passes to the Talladega Garage Experience, the most immersive in NASCAR. 877-GO-TO-DEGA or TalladagaSuperspeedway.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown. The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
This hour brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. You're tailgating home. We're to tailgating season, and you can go by the Highway 119 location. That's owned by Sterling. Right there, Champy's Chicken. Champy'sChicken.com. That's Southern fried chicken, brined overnight, cooked to order. Mississippi Delta recipes, tamales. You can rank all 25 things on the menu, however you want to rank them. We'll do the AP poll in a second, but this hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's. And I will tell you that the countdown to kickoff and our countdown to the AP poll brought to you by Innisfree. Innisfree countdown to kickoff 12 days away. That's how close we are. And your game day tradition is Innisfree Irish Pub in Tuscaloosa and Lakeview. Irish-inspired pub food, the signature Irish gold sauce, and always a world-class atmosphere. Innisfree, countdown to kickoff is 12. The AP poll is out. Let's start with Alabama.
Okay.
Easily the lowest they've been since 2008. How low do you go before you get Alabama?
They do not get any first-place votes. Would you like to wager a guess? Jim got it on his second guess in the break.
On how many got first
No,
place?
where Alabama is.
Oh, Alabama, I would say, is at 13.
Lance got it on his first guess.
Wow.
He beat you, Jim. Alabama is 13. The Ohio State Buckeyes, with 40 first-place votes, are number 1. The Oregon Ducks, with 14 first-place votes, are number 2. The Georgia Bulldogs, without a first-place vote, Kirby got his AMO.
Yeah,
but they're still number 3.
That does help a little bit.
They're still number 3. Notre Dame, with 6 first-place votes, is number 4.
Can I pause right there?
You may.
And just say this, that to be number 3 and have no first-place votes, surrounding by teams that have first-place votes.
Yeah, Oregon's got 14, Notre Dame's got 6 around you.
Makes me think that a lot of people
had Georgia at 2.
Had Georgia at 2.
Yeah.
It really does. That Georgia's in the national championship game on their ballot.
Almost don't you play like, what are the chances? I mean, seriously, the SEC goes 4 years without playing for a national championship.
Texas, number 5, without a first-place vote. I am stunned. I thought Texas could actually be first place.
Yeah, that's surprising.
Not a single first-place vote for Texas.
So, not to skip ahead in the script, so you're telling me that
out of 69 voters, not one of them voted for Texas.
But not one SEC team got a first-place vote.
That is accurate, John.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, how long has it been since an SEC team didn't get a first-place vote?
Yeah. Not one. Not
preseason
one.
Poll. Indiana, number 6. They've got 8 first-place votes. Miami with the last remaining first-place vote at number 7.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams with first-place votes.
I would have thought more.
Okay, Miami at 7. Let's do it again. If they don't make the playoffs last year at 10-2, where do you think they are preseason?
Probably about where Alabama is, like 12 or 13, without a first-place vote. Texas A&M is number 8.
Yep.
Ole Miss number 9. Oklahoma number 10.
Those are the 2 schools to watch on ranked in the top 10, unranked at the end of the year.
Yeah, Ole Miss will be a very popular choice on that.
Well, A&M is the one team to me in the top 10 that nobody's talking about outside.
Yeah, you're kind of right. I mean, it's like even when you talk and when people are talking about SEC, they talk LSU, Georgia, Texas. Can Ole Miss do it? What is Alabama? Almost you never hear about Texas A&M. You're right about that.
We'll do overrated, underrated in the second. Let's do 11 through 15.
LSU 11, Texas Tech 12. Alabama 13, BYU 14, and they were tied with Southern Cal at 14. There's a tie at 14. So LSU 11, Texas Tech, Alabama, and then BYU and USC tied at 14. Number 16 is Michigan. Washington is 17, Penn State 18, SMU 19, Tennessee at number 20.
I was moaning about Tennessee at 20. I don't see it.
Yeah, it's too high. Utah 21. Iowa 22, Houston 23, Louisville 24, and the Missouri Tigers round out the top 25.
I don't see that either.
Just missing Clemson, just barely out of the top 25, right behind Missouri. They are team number 26.
You think it'll be predictable what Dabo says about that?
Uh-huh. That's about where we belong.
Yeah.
Hell,
we got votes.
We got. I can't believe if they've been to our camp, they wouldn't have voted for us. I've seen it. Florida, by the way, respect to our buddy John Summerall, 27th. Your highest non-Power 5 team, Power 4 team, is Boise State at 28. I'm just scanning through here to see who else got votes. Vanderbilt got votes.
I wonder if the reason you get is Boise State considered to be the 28th best team, like one of the top 25 best teams on some ballots?
Probably.
Or do people that are voting LT feel like they have to put one group of 5 in at the end of their ballot? Because
I can't
one of them's going to make the
remember,
playoffs.
And I'm sure it was probably last year. When's the last time we didn't have a Group 5 in the top 25?
Boise is at 20.
Feels like it was last year.
Yeah, maybe so.
I'm checking.
28th, UNLV gets 4 votes.
Boise State was ranked.
To start the year last year?
Yeah.
It didn't last long.
New Mexico gets votes. Louisiana gets votes. James Madison of the Memphis, all those teams. Auburn got some votes. They got 3 points, so, it could have been one voter. Don't know. Western Michigan got votes too. Lance Taylor, head coach there.
Okay.
So there you go. That's the AP Top 25 fresh off the presses.
Keep it up there for us. Sure, we want to react to it several different ways. After we remind you the show is being brought to you in part by our friends at Hoover Toyota, hoovertoyota.com.
If you're in the market right now, you need to go check out the incredible inventory. I'm speaking as a buyer twice over now at Hoover Toyota over the last couple of years. Absolutely have loved the red carpet experience that I've enjoyed there. They are the best in the business. Stop in, see them, conveniently located right there on Highway 150. If you're looking for safety, reliability, something that's going to hold its value, that is the definition of Toyota. Get in, see Scott Peoples, all the fine folks there for more information and to view their inventory and more info on the on-site finance department, hoovertoyota.com.
All right, so the first question I ask, who's the most overrated team you see in the AP poll that is out now? And again, Ohio State, Oregon, Georgia, Notre Dame, Texas in the top 5. SEC teams have A&M 8, Ole Miss 9, Oklahoma 10, LSU 11, Alabama 13, Tennessee 20. What's the most overrated team?
I mean, I'm just you talk about teams that could be in the top 10 that finish outside of the top 25. Ole Miss, just based on schedule. I don't know if they're overrated.
Unfortunately for Pete, I agree with you.
Yeah, but just losses that are coming based on the difficulty of that schedule. I will say Ole Miss at 10 is a little high.
It would probably take 7 and 5 for them to be out of the top 25.
With that schedule, yeah. And I think they even
Yep.
still would, be in the mix at 7 and 5.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we do this every single year, but just looking at that top 10 and trying to find what your I want to give you the 22 of the last 23 years, a top 10 team has finished unranked. And every single year we do this. We're like, this will be the year it doesn't happen. But again, I'm going to look at it and say, who's unranked here? I mean, who in this top 10 is unranked? And Ole Miss would be the one I would make the case for if I was going to make a case for anyone. But when you ask about overrated, I know this goes against conventional thinking, but I think Miami at number 7 is. Follow this scenario. We did this when you were out. Lance went ahead with a bold prediction. Clemson upsets Miami in I think that's week 4 or something like that, Dunaway. So that was Lance's prediction. Clemson upsets Miami. Games in Death Valley there, the other Death Valley.
Not a big upset, by the way.
I mean, yeah, you say
Miami will be
like
2.5.
2.5, that low, okay.
I think it could be by game time.
A perception upset, not necessarily a huge point spread upset. Lose that game, lose the Notre Dame game. Likely scenario. There again, they could have the one conference loss, not even getting their conference championship game. I think Miami's out of the playoffs at 10-2 with losses to Clemson and losses to Notre Dame. And I know you purse your lips, but go look at who they would have wins against. There are no wins.
Oh, I think there's possibility. I thought about this morning. I was listening to somebody talking about Miami, and I was like, if they lose to Notre Dame and then nobody else is ranked on their schedule, they're 11-1. They play for the conference championship, but lose that game. I could see them out at 11-2.
Yeah, 11-2.
Yeah.
So that's when you hope the committee, you would want the committee to be about your resume and not just the win-loss. So far, the committee every year that we've done the 12 teams both years, they've been about that win-loss record. If you go look, it's almost like NFL standings, who's made and who's been out. You would hope they would take some nuance to 11-2 and they've beaten nobody, and maybe let a 9-3 in ahead of them.
I mean, if Texas is 9-3 and Miami is 11-2 with that scenario, Texas definitely deserves to be in front.
Deserves to be in. Would they do that would be the question. Yeah. Overrated for me, and I'll stick with this. I'm going to say Tennessee at 20. I mean, Tennessee could be one of those disruptive teams, but
so it's probably an 8-4 Tennessee team at 20 with their schedule. So you would think Tennessee's more like a 6-6,
more like 7-5.
Okay.
But 8-4 is there. But you've lost your safety. It looks like everything coming out of the scrimmage, you're going to start Faison Brandon. It looks like he's going to win that job. So you got a freshman quarterback, and I just don't know. I don't know how good the offensive, the whole shooting match is there to run the type of offense Heupel likes to run. It seems like they're going to try to, or at least need to, with that offense to limit possessions and lean on the running back, and that's not really the way Heupel likes to play.
Well, I mean, they should start 5-1. and I'm giving them Texas losing in Knoxville. If they were to win that game, I mean, everything's out the door at 6-0. But if they start 5-1, the bigger problem for Heupel is everything's going to collapse in October and November, and it's going to look worse because at 5-1, you're probably in the top 15 at that point, and then everything kind of unravels. Is there a scenario? This sounds crazy, but if Heupel went 6-6, would people talk about him losing his job?
Yeah.
2 years removed from the playoffs.
Yeah, but I think it's 6-6. That talk is out there, and I don't know what his buyout looks like. I think he did get an extension out of that.
And you can find 6 losses.
Yeah, you can. I just don't know. Like, everybody votes differently. The Associated Press, Jim and I have both voted in it, and they don't give you a whole lot of guidance. They just basically say rank your top 25 teams. They don't tell you how to consider who's in your top 25 or not. They allow you to determine that.
Just as a refresher, the preseason one, I ranked by my perception the teams I thought at that point in time, not looking at the schedule, who the top 25 teams were going into the year.
And I did the exact opposite of that. I considered schedule and things like that and said, this is who I think is going to win the national championship. I'm telling you right now by this vote, I think this team is number one because they're going to win the national championship. Understanding that I've got 16 weeks to adjust based on the field results.
I do it like you, and I'll watch week 1, and if, I've got Oregon, if I end up having them number 1 and they go out and struggle, they could drop to number 4.
Can easily drop. My point in bringing that up is all we've talked about all offseason with Ohio State is that schedule. I mean, it's easy to make a case that they're actually overrated at number 1 if you approach it the way I approach it, that you're like, I do think they're good, but that schedule's too daunting. They will not finish number 1 with that schedule.
Well, what's going to be interesting with Ohio State schedule, Texas, their difficulty of their schedule, teams like Oklahoma, Ole Miss, like, do we see multiple 9-3s? Like, if you really put the best 12 teams in at the end of the year, is there a possibility that an 11-1 Texas Tech gets bumped by a 9-3, and 11-1 Miami gets bumped by a 9-3? If you're truly going with the best teams, because some of the best teams have the most difficult schedules in college football.
If Miami and Texas Tech aren't their conference champions, 100%, I'd be okay with that. I don't know if we see it, but that's what I want. I want some nuance. I want some people in there, the humans, to look at the schedules and say, look, this 9-3 doesn't look like runner-up in the Big 12 Texas Tech schedule.
Like, I forgot who it was last week that joined us, and I agree with this. This is going to be the best USC team that Lincoln Riley has had as far as complete team. They're probably going to go 9-3 with that schedule, though. So, like, is there a possibility they would get in at 9-3?
Yeah, I would say an 11-1 Miami versus a 10-2 Ohio State's going to look different. You can't look at record there. You got to look at the whole picture.
Yeah.
And probably the same with USC. If USC's 10-2 versus, say, an 11-1 Miami.
Yeah, here becomes the nuance. So, okay, Miami's 11-1.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost to Notre Dame. Now they've got to go play an ACC championship game.
Yep.
10-2 Ohio State
May not.
has missed the Big Ten championship game likely and doesn't have to play that weekend.
Or 10-2 USC, yeah. So that's where, that extra data point that people get tired of hearing that phrase, but that's why they have it in there. Is for just that scenario.
Let's talk Alabama at 13 for a second, and then I want to talk about Washington. The show today being brought to you by our friends at Michelson Laser Vision. LT, tell us about them.
Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, best in the business, conveniently located right there at UAB Highlands. Make the call today if you've been thinking about LASIK. I'm speaking from experience. Got it done in 2003. Still have the 2015 vision. Better than 2020. 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy Toe. The next round sent you. For more information, MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Here's Alabama guard Michael Carroll on new O-line coach Adrian Clem on trying to change the mentality towards running the football at Tuscaloosa.
He's definitely trying to change the mentality of, like, I would say the run game mentality and, being physical, but I've always felt like I've had that mentality already innately built into me and how I play and how I was raised by my family, but I feel like he's come in with a great mindset. Like, we're going to be able to run the ball. Like, we're going to be tough, physical group, understand our assignments, and, be able to get yards for our running backs and our quarterback.
But if they can run the ball, what's the ceiling for Alabama? Well, they don't even have to be great.
Well,
if they can just be top tier, 8 or higher in the SEC running the ball.
I mean, the ceiling is national championship if they can run the ball effectively. Now, that's a lot to ask to go from where they were last year to running the ball effectively, but, we've seen it happen. I mean, this is a terrible comparison to make in this discussion, But we actually saw it happen at a championship level in the NFL last year, and you'll see why this is a terrible comparison, because the Seahawks went from not being able to run it to all of a sudden being a really good run team, good enough to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, your Super Bowl MVP was a running back that is now with the Kansas City Chiefs and Kenneth Walker.
So you can flip it around mentality-wise and personnel-wise. Now, the reason that's a bad example is because Ryan Grubb was the coordinator for both teams. So that's a bad one.
Look, I mean, these are games you've got to win in September, but we're going to know. East Carolina, again, replacing 21 starters, won't know anything there. But if they go to Lexington and they grind out and they rush for 200+, the next week, revenge game against Florida State, do the same thing, then you'll know. I think you will know in September whether or not this team's going to be able to run the football.
I'll believe it if they can do those things. I'm still going to want to see it against Georgia, but I don't expect a team to line up and run for 200 yards on Georgia either. Like, what did they rush for? Do you remember off the top of your head the game in Athens? It was just enough, whatever it was.
I'm going to guess it was 124 yards.
It feels like that. It feels like they ran. So to me, like
a lot of first down,
I got it right
2.5 yard gains.
Yeah, I mean, they pounded it. They pounded the run. And, I mean, they had just enough to beat Georgia. So, not all games have to be 200 yards. Let's see. Against Georgia, Lance, 38 carries, 117 yards, 3 yards a carry. Is that dynamic? No.
No, that's actually terrible.
It is, but you do it on the road in Athens, and it was literally just enough to win that game.
Yeah, and they kept doing it, too. They did not.
Well, 38 carries. They never went away as bad as it was because it was grinding the clock, and they had the lead. So
that was my question in postgame. I remember asking the question to Kalen DeBoer. It wasn't a lot, but you guys didn't go away from the run game. It seemed to be effective tonight.
Yeah,
I forget how. Yeah,
I'll believe it when I see it.
I
don't think they're going to be able to just come out and run the football. I still think they're going to be, 10-16 in the SEC rushing the football.
13 seems to be fair.
13
in the ranking.
Oh yeah. I have no problem with Alabama being at 30. I had them higher in my
because I think 10-2 or 9-3 is the number, and I mean, hell, they could be close to that at 9-3.
Yeah, my 40-40, I had them a little higher. I think I had Alabama at 8th. I'll have to go back and look where I did it.
I put them at 9th in my AP poll fake ballot I sent out last night.
Somewhere around that 8, 9, 10. I think Alabama is going to find their way into the college football playoff. They may have to go on the road again in the first round, but I do think this is a playoff team. So 13 is right on that bubble right there. I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah,
that's a fair ranking.
A fun 9-8 game is where I got Alabama on the road in that fun 9-8. So 13 for Alabama. I want to ask you about the top in the SEC. Georgia 3, Texas 5. I had a chance to spend some time with Gene Chizik on Friday night at an event, and he really is high on Georgia. He's gone to a lot of practices over there, and he's like, Jim, it's the same culture, the same setup that Nick had in Tuscaloosa, and he believes that setup, that way of doing business, it makes Georgia the best team in the league again this year. And then the AP voters back that up. More meat over hype with Georgia at 3 and Texas at 5.
Well, we've seen it with Georgia and Kirby. I mean, we haven't seen it with Sark. We just haven't. So, the only problem for Georgia the last couple of years the last 3 years, is they hadn't gotten it done in the postseason. And there's been reasons for that. But 13, 11, and 12 wins. I mean, they've been a top 5 team every single year. They just haven't performed to that level in the postseason. I do think they're the best team in the SEC this year, and we'll see. I mean, they've got question marks, though. Like, are they going to be able to dominate on the defensive line? They didn't last year. Do they come back more to the Georgia we remember winning championships up front defensively? And then where's the skill at the wide receiver position?
Yeah. David Hell, I was reading this morning from our buddy Mike Griffith over in Atlanta on Georgia. Covers Georgia. David Hell did his tier rankings in college football and dropped Georgia to a tier 2 program. And Mike was pointing out, like, look, I know I haven't won a national championship, but this is your defending SEC champion who's made the playoffs, and you've got him as a tier 2 program?
Okay, so in 20...
Are you saying Mike misread that or something?
Their last 40 SEC games, what do you think their record
is? I'd go 35-5.
37-3.
37-3. Better than I had.
I think that was tier 2 of NFL talent on the roster.
Oh.
And there was tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and Alabama was not on either one of those 3 tiers.
Yeah.
If it's the same article. I did see Georgia on tier 2, which surprised me.
Well, even on NFL talent, I would find it hard to believe that Georgia's on tier 2.
I would too. But I do think Texas has got probably more overall talent on their roster.
Yeah, but I guess the point in bringing that up, whether it's NFL talent or whether he's saying Georgia's a Tier 2 program now, it is like everybody has sold their Georgia stock. I mean, you could probably, if this were the stock market.
Not as much as Bama.
No. But, I mean, in a sense, I can't blame people for selling Bama stock. Can you?
No, I can't.
But why would you sell Georgia stock right now?
Yeah. Jordan Reed wrote the story that I saw. It was.
Well, this is a David Hale story, so it could be different stories, yeah.
12 college teams that are stacked with NFL talent. And Tier 1 was Texas, Oregon,
Ohio State,
Notre Dame, Miami. Tier 2 was Ohio State.
Tier 2 is Ohio State.
Yeah. And Georgia, Ole Miss. This is for NFL talent. South Carolina, which is not good for Shane Beamer, by the way.
No.
Tier 3 was LSU. Indiana at Tier 3. Oklahoma at Tier 3. And then under the radar was BYU, and there was no Alabama mentioned.
Yeah,
what caught my eye.
The Indiana story has been incredible, and I think they're going to be really good again this year. I don't care what the situation is. Indiana should never have more NFL talent than Alabama.
Well, I don't disagree with you on that. I don't know, and Jordan Reed, I think, covers the draft for the ESPN, so who am I to say? But when you got Ohio State at Tier 2, I do wonder how you're doing your tiers.
That's right. Not a lot of people in Tier 1 or Tier 2. It was 12 teams.
Yeah.
Broken down to 3 tiers, so what is that? That's 4.
Yeah.
And I'd be interested to see, again, the star rating, not that it matters, but what is the percentage of these rosters that were 4 and 5-star guys?
Yeah.
I mean, Ohio State, it's all of them.
Yeah. So the AP poll is out. You see it there in the corner of the screen. Alabama is 13. That's a low ranking for them. The SEC is 3 and 5. And then you get a clump of teams at 8, 9, 10, 11, then 13 and 20. People will talk SEC bias all the time. It doesn't show up really in the AP poll anymore.
No. If anything, it's geared against a SEC bias as far as the region of voters go.
Yeah. 3 Big Ten teams in the top 6, 1 independent, and 2 SEC.
I was going to bring up the point you guys made earlier talking about how when was the last time the SEC received 0 first-place votes in the preseason poll. That was 2015 coming off a 2014 national championship for Ohio State.
Were they unanimous?
So no, Ohio State was unanimous?
They had all 61 first-place votes.
Wow.
Oh.
For more than a decade.
And who won the national championship that year?
2015, Jim.
A little team called Alabama,
Yeah,
right?
Little Obama. LOB.
Yeah. That what's it called? What bus was that?
The Roy bus.
The Roy
Alabama
bus.
was the Roy bus.
Derrick
that year.
Henry was on the Roy bus that year.
I mean, to the voters' defense, Ohio State had 3 actual quarterbacks coming back that had all played a pretty elite level.
That's right.
So it was like Ohio State couldn't screw it up that year.
Yeah.
And Zeke Elliott.
It reminds me, I talked about this when we were on the course Thursday with somebody, that it reminds me of the Rams this year. Like, it's hard to compare college football and the NFL, but the last super team was that Ohio State team going into a season. And
didn't win it.
Yeah.
In fact,
they didn't even make the playoffs.
Didn't make the playoffs. That's hard to believe.
Oh, that sent me to Amish country.
Yeah. Urban Meyer with 3.
No, they only had 1 loss. They should have made the playoffs.
Yeah, that was a 14 playoff then.
It was Philip from Huntsville. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were doing a radio. And he would, all summer long, he kept saying, no way Ohio State can mess this up. No way Ohio State can mess this up.
It didn't seem like they could, Jim. It's like if one quarterback is ineffective, I've got 2 more, one of which is my third teamer that won the national championship for us. How could I mess this up?
Yeah.
And Zeke Elliott, as Brooks pointed out.
Yeah, crazy. There's the AP poll. It's out. That means we're one step closer to college football. Trash when we come back. The show being brought to you by our friends at Boiling and Bragging. LT, tell everybody that is not familiar with Boiling and Bragging, this is like an unofficial kickoff to college football.
Yeah, it's the first big college tailgate party of the season. There will be representation from Mississippi State, Missouri, Alabama, Auburn, Kentucky, a bunch of schools. I'll have the schools in the next couple of days. I'll relay that to you guys, but an awesome event every single year. It's being held this Saturday, the 22nd, from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. in Crestline Village, right near the O'Neill Library in Mountain Brook. This annual event benefits the critical care transport team at Children's of Alabama. For more information, visit bowlingandbragging.org. Mark your calendar down this Saturday. Live music, great food. For more information and tickets, bowlingandbragging.org.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
When a motorcycle accident turns your world upside down, who's going to look out for your family while you're healing. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys is here for you, fighting for injured riders and getting families the compensation they deserve. The consultation is free. They don't get paid until you do. Alexander Shunnarah Trial Attorneys. Call 659-777-7777 or visit alexwins.law. Don't wait. Call 659-777-7777. alexwins.law. Physical offices, Birmingham.
Sterling and the fine folks at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster want to welcome you in for a great lunch or dinner starting at 11 a.m. every day. Chicken that's brined overnight and cooked to order, and the taste of the Delta with those Delta recipe tamales. Champy's is perfect for all your tailgating needs this football season. You can also choose Champy's for your next party, wedding, or birthday. Great food, great people. Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster, and everything online at champyschicken.com.
At Central State Bank, we are large enough to serve you and small enough to know you. Manage your money with ease, whether it's mobile banking, hassle-free checking, competitive loans, business solutions, or personalized financial advice. We're your hometown bank with big-time service. Visit us today and experience banking made simple, because at Central State Bank, you come first.
Member FDIC.
Next Round shirts, Next Round hoodies, and Next Round hats are all in one place. NextRound.store. Find your favorite piece of gear from your favorite show and put it in your rotation. You never know. You might be in one of our videos showing Next Round gear being worn all over the world. Find all your favorite Next Round gear by visiting NextRound.store. Place an order for you and that big Next Round fan in your life at NextRound.store. Look your best at work, at school, at the stadium, or anywhere you go wearing Next Round gear from NextRound.store.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service. Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Remember the name Way to Wellness if you're battling weight loss in your life. I'm Jim Dunaway from the Next Round. There was a time I was over 216 pounds until Way to Wellness helped me lose 45 pounds, and now for over 2 years, they've helped me keep that weight off. Here's their website, aplanforme.com, aplanforme.com. That's a great name for a website because there's no cookie-cutter plan. Everything is designed specifically for you. No contract, no sign-up fees, and your first consultation is free at Way to Wellness. Keep in mind this year that the top 3 seeds get to choose their path in the college football playoffs. So if you're the number 1 seed, say it's Ohio State, like the AP poll voters say, they get to choose what bowl game they play in. And
Rose Bowl, you assume?
That's what I was going to ask. If you're a Big Ten school in the Midwest traditionally, would you choose the Rose Bowl?
Probably, because now the last couple of times I've been out, we've had bad weather. We had some bad weather for the Michigan-Alabama game. We had bad weather for the Indiana-Alabama game. But, when you're in that Big Ten weather for, the late fall, you probably want to get out in some sunshine.
But your other choices are going to be what this year? Is it?
I'm pulling it up because I always forget which ones are.
Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl.
Seems like the Orange Bowl is 11 a.m.
So your 26-27 quarterfinal bowls are Fiesta, Cotton, Peach, and Rose.
Okay.
For what it's worth, the Fiesta is on the 30th, excuse me, and the others are January 1. So you would actually get 2 extra days. So you're going to play one on the 30th. I don't guess I had realized
that means the 31st is a Sunday.
It must be. You're going to play one on the 30th and then take a day off for the NFL and then play one.
So if you're Georgian, you get one of those 3.
You go to the Peach Bowl.
Yeah, you
Kirby 100% goes to the Peach Bowl.
But see, that's the way it is, though, now, for the first time ever. 2 and 3 get to choose too. So 1 gets to choose their path, then it's 2's choice.
So it's almost like if you're 1, you block Georgia from going to.
Yeah, I mean, you could. And it's an easy trip for Ohio State to Atlanta, and you're indoor. You don't have to worry about the weather.
Notre Dame's an interesting study in that too, because none of them are particularly close. It's Phoenix, Dallas, Atlanta, or Pasadena.
Yeah.
Nothing's close.
If you're the 1 seed in your Notre Dame, you take Atlanta.
I would think so. Yeah.
Just for the trip.
Yeah.
It's easy travel, and you don't have to worry about weather.
I wouldn't take the Fiesta. I mean, I don't know how big it is. Well, I think some coaches will like the Fiesta because it gives them more time. You know, those coaches, they like to have that extra time.
I assume you're able to see the bracket first, to where you wouldn't choose Atlanta if you were playing the winner of the Georgia and so game, right?
That's right, yeah.
You wouldn't choose Atlanta to have Georgia coming to Atlanta to play you.
All of a sudden, for some reason, Georgia's lined up to play the Peach Bowl if they win an on-campus game.
Yeah, and then the 3rd team gets to choose, and you get the bowl that's left if you're the 4th seed. That's how it's going to work this year for the first time ever. Here's Alex Golesh in our Hemp Hill Sound of the Day after Auburn's scrimmage on Friday. You've seen this floating around at Next Round Live since the post-scrimmage news conference on Friday.
There were some bright spots, and it's going to sound like coach talk. There were some bright spots, but there was also some pre-snap stuff that is not how you can function offensively. There was some bright spots on defense, and then there was some tackling stuff that didn't look like it looked like our second time tackling. And so we need a bunch of work tackling. We need a bunch of work perimeter blocking. We need a bunch of work pre-snap. We need a bunch of crowd noise work. I told the entire team, coaches, everybody, like, humble the heck out of yourselves here. Coach, take the coaching. I would walk out and say, overall, a sloppy day on both sides. Make an excuse and say, man, first scrimmage, first time really, like, we didn't look like a veteran team. We looked like a team that has highs and lows and is emotional and rides with that, which is the complete opposite of what we want. So a lot to work on, like a ton to work on. And that's the truth on that.
That's Alex Golesh after Auburn's first scrimmage. That's our Hemp Hill Sound of the Day. Auburn got votes, but not ranked in the AP Top 25 today. Tell us about Hemp Hill.
205-229-2090, the number that I call way too much. Never ideal if something goes down, home or business. Feels like something's gone down up here. We probably need
we got a problem here.
Hemp Hill to roll out. I don't understand why our building's always hot as 10 hells, especially on Monday and Tuesday. But if this is a problem in your home or business right now, make the phone call. 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys there. Tell them the Next Round sent you. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
2 more things in college football world before we get to trash here. One of them is Curt Cignetti. He was talking to On3 Sports about Indiana and Notre Dame canceling the series. They were scheduled to play in 2030 and 2031, and the South Bend paper and others, USA Today, have reported that it was Indiana that canceled the series. That allowed Notre Dame then to book 2 games with USC to get that rivalry back, but Indiana's the one that canceled the series. And then Curt Cignetti, it was actually on the Big Ten Network, had this quote, On3 builds the graphic. Curt Cignetti on the Indiana-Notre Dame series being canceled. I'd like to play Notre Dame. They are to come to our place twice, and we'll go there once since they're not in a conference, end quote. Then it comes out that they're the ones that canceled the series.
That's right.
I know Dabo rubs you the wrong way. He is
going to eventually rub people the wrong way?
Well, I think Dabo rubs about 85% of people the wrong way. I think this guy rubs about 99% of people the wrong way.
Okay.
Just because, I mean,
he's got an ass whooping coming at some point on the field, and somebody's not going to call off the
People are gonna love
dogs.
it,
yeah, I mean, maybe. I mean, again, last year at this time, we were like, I'll believe it if I see it again. We saw 16-0. I don't know what to expect. I think they're going to be really good. I do agree sooner than later when you continue the schedule gets better and better for Indiana. I mean, the losses are coming at some point, but he is an incredible coach that is highly, highly unliked by any and all fan bases outside of Indiana.
True to his word, though. I mean, he said this is the way he's going to schedule non-conference. He has said up front, I'm not playing anybody non-conference. And even the game they had scheduled, he's canceling it. So he'll replace Notre Dame with Miami, Ohio, or something like that. And
I wouldn't have scheduled him, though. I said it. If I was Cignetti, there's no chance I'd play Notre Dame.
That's fine to not schedule them.
But don't have those comments. I
don't say that crap.
Yeah, that's weak.
But I will tell you, there'll come a day, if they continue to have success, and I do think they'll continue to be successful. The guy's a good coach. If they'll continue to have success, there'll come a day where he'll go to the Saban playbook and bitch about people not coming to their pre-conference schedule games, the Miami Ohios and the Eastern Illinois of the world. And he'll complain about it. And we've had all this success here, and our fans don't support us like they do. Everybody was excited, those first couple of years in 24 and 25 when we won the championship. And now here 5 years later, we only had 40,000 people.
Stop playing Ball State.
Yeah. Well, and that's going to be the thing. Is like, well, you chose this path. Your fans will not continue to support those types of games.
You talking about calling the dogs off. Help me out, though. I don't think Saban ever got destroyed, did he?
The worst beating I can remember a Nick Saban team taking was
Clemson National Championship.
Yeah,
right, Clemson game, but that was not.
And if you go back and look at it, there were some fourth down stops and a couple of things where it wouldn't have been as bad. But I will give you that is the worst. Has Kirby ever experienced a beatdown? The reason I bring this up is there's just
first half
Tuscaloosa.
Oh yeah,
pretty bad.
But
it was on
that
its
second
way.
half, I mean, it was a pick away from this one of the more remarkable SEC comebacks in SEC history.
Yeah.
Elite coaches typically don't take it on.
They really don't.
I think for the longest time, the worst beating Nick Saban had taken was that game in Columbia that you were at, the Sandstorm game.
Yeah.
I think didn't South Carolina win that by 14? I think.
I think it was 13.
Was it 13?
Yeah.
And that for a long time, if I remember correctly, that. Because his first year, LSU was really good. But keep in mind, Alabama led that game going into the fourth quarter. And the score probably, was not indicative of the way that game was played.
I mean, do you guys see a game on their schedule this year that they could actually – I mean, there's plenty they could lose, but is there an ass-whooping possibly coming for Indiana? I don't know if I see it. Like, their toughest road game is at Michigan, and there is no chance. At Michigan or at Washington, they get Ohio State and USC at home.
I would say, and we just did this exercise with Alabama, it's probably where you don't see it coming. Alabama at South Carolina.
No, but I'm talking about ass-whipping.
I know, but Alabama at South Carolina, which was the biggest one Saban got for a long time, you never saw that coming.
Yeah, never felt like Alabama was going to win that game that day.
Not that day, but I'm saying going into that game, did you ever be like, oof, this will be a time where Bama loses by 2 scores?
Yeah, no. Listen, I know there were a lot of uniform combos, including Texas A&M camouflage last week. But Forrester and Brooks and Tyler and I agree this school got it right. Arizona State's throwbacks, they're going to wear these this year.
Yes,
and
sir.
They're wearing the right helmet.
Yep.
And I even like the jersey pant combo, too.
Yep.
LT, you love traditional uniforms. That should be their helmet all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I love that whole uniform.
Yeah, I agree. Interesting year. At this time last year, we were anointing Kenny Dillingham as the next big hot coach.
Yep.
Got to replace quarterback now because more money to go to LSU. How good's Arizona State going to be after kind of a subpar year last year?
That's a good uniform, though.
That is.
The more they wear that, the better.
Love Sparky.
I love Sparky. I love that jersey. I like those stripes on the side there.
Yeah, and Jim, wait until it's a great uniform, but God, it's going to be awful looking with the logo that the Big 12 is going to put on it. This is the official Big 12 logo.
Yeah. Look how big that Monster Energy logo is. Like it's covering up the K.
Boy, it is. And if you go sell another jersey, sponsor the competition.
Which Kansas did.
I know, I see it. And the kid right close to it. Who's the sponsor, though, Brooks?
XRP.
Yeah, it's
the
a crypto.
cryptocurrency. Yeah, Ripple. That's Ripple XRP.
I think there's 3 Big 12 schools that also have sold their own individual sponsors.
Yeah, I don't mind. You got to do something uniform. This looks terrible.
Is busy.
Yeah, and I'm putting that. I guess the Big 12 and Monster, they made it front of jersey because I'm putting it on the shoulder if I can.
I tell you where they can help themselves.
Why did they go with a background behind the Monster and Big 12 logos instead of just the logo?
I saw an alternate logo that was the Big 12 logo with the Monster 3 stripes right behind the logo.
Like intertwined,
and it looked much better than that.
Yeah, I would. You don't need to put the Big 12 on there. Just put the Monster.
Yeah. We know you're the Big 12.
This looks like a sticker.
Yeah, we know it's the Big 12. You're Kansas.
As Lance has said, they've really NASCAR'd this thing.
They really have. That jersey is super busy.
Well, I mean,
you still
the
got
fact
2
that
sleeves on there.
Yeah.
The fact you're covering up the K though is the problem.
I know. Yeah.
That's the name of the school.
Yeah.
It's just you. It's not KU anymore.
That looks tacky.
That just looks like the person that was sewing it on didn't care.
Yeah, the seamstress.
Now, I will say Adidas could do them.
Because they don't. They're only getting $1 million for it.
Really. Adidas could do them a solid by moving the Adidas patch to the bottom of the V in the neck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That could help a lot right there.
Yeah.
Because that other side just gets so...
Yeah, I guess if you include the outfitter of the uniform, the apparel outfitter, you have 3 logos.
You do.
Like 3 company logos there, technically.
Crazy.
And Adidas is the one that's probably paying the most of all of them.
And y'all saw Alabama Media Day that
I did.
The Alabama around the collar was not there anymore, so it looks like the space has been cleared waiting for the announcement to have a patch.
They're creating inventory.
Yeah.
Though I had been told I didn't think it was going to happen this year.
Really?
But
so that Mercedes deal that Greg Byrne should easily be able to close has not been closed yet?
Well, I mean, I think the bar's been set now.
So it's on the neck logo now, right?
Well,
The SEC?
there used to be a Script A, and they moved it, and they moved the SEC logo there.
The SEC logo
which cleared the spot on the
Nike's here
on the shoulder.
On the shoulder,
yeah. So,
which I didn't notice at first, but a lot of fans did. I saw it in our chat when it came out, and I saw it on Twitter. Fans complaining about the Script A not being there anymore.
Is there a sponsor you'd like to see on the jersey?
Well, Mercedes or Toyota or something where you just know who the sponsor is.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Trash now. Before we do that, show brought to you by our friends at Champy's Final Hour, always by Champy's Chicken, Highway 119. That is Sterling's place. Go by and enjoy the wonderful fried chicken, brined overnight, cooked to order, hand-cut chicken fingers that Tyler loves when he's there. The in-house made sides, in-house made desserts, and the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. It's Highway 119 in Alabaster, perfect for your tailgating. Champy'sChicken.com. Let's do trash.
I'm here with the winner, Derek Lewis. Derek, why'd you take your pants off? My balls was hot. I understand.
LT's Trash is presented by Bud Light.
Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Yeah, I was telling Forrester in the bathroom. I wasn't looking at his meat either because I was in a stall over, but I was like, man, pits are sweating
because
today.
you were in the stall, though.
Pits are sweating.
We start first, Oreo, launching 3 wildly different cookie flavors all at once, but fans will decide which one earns another run in 2027. Oreo handing control of the cookie aisle to its customers with a new lineup featuring banana pudding, deep fried, and chicken and waffles. Chicken and waffles has become kind of the what is the fall flavor?
Pumpkin spice.
Yeah, pumpkin spice.
Yeah. Banana pudding's going to be pretty good.
I agree.
I don't like to come back from vacation and talk a lot about my vacation, but Maggie took me to a bakery in New York City that's world famous. I can't remember it now, for their banana pudding, and it was legit.
Wow, in New York City?
Yeah, it was right near 30 Rock because we walked down to the fountains and ate it outside because it was 81 degrees, no humidity. But I was like,
Magnolia Bakery?
It was, absolutely. And it was right near 30 Rock. And she was like, we got to go in here. This place is world famous for its banana pudding. I said, you don't know this, but I'm from the South. We're world famous for our banana pudding.
My granny is world famous.
But it was legit. It tasted as good.
I don't like. What is the go-to spot in Alabama for banana pudding? I mean, I know Dreamland for a minute, right?
Dreamland had very good banana pudding.
Yeah.
I hadn't had it in a while.
You make your own.
I think you get a lot, but you make your own. You're exactly right. But it tasted like the best, as good as the Southern banana pudding. I was shocked.
So all 3 limited edition flavors available to pre-order through Oreo's website and the Snackworks TikTok shop from August 17th. They will arrive at retailers across the U.S. August 24th, at a week from today, while supplies last.
So the deep fried one's going to taste like it's a deep fried Oreo?
Banana pudding features layers of banana and vanilla pudding, flavored cream between vanilla wafers. Deep fried uses fried dough-flavored cookies wrapped around dark chocolate and fried dough cream.
Okay, that one's got my attention.
However, chickens and waffles, easily the wildest of the bunch. According to this article, the waffle pattern cookies contain a dual-layered cream design to recreate the sweet and savory combo of fried chicken and maple syrup.
That would be third on mine.
Yeah, I would agree. I would go in that order: banana pudding, deep fried, and chicken and waffles.
I think I would too.
Yeah.
Hey, Jimmy, here's your banana pudding.
Oh, that looks great.
That looks incredible.
Yeah, it was. That's exactly the way it looked there in the store as well.
Let me ask you: do you like your banana pudding hot or cold?
Cold.
I like it cold.
I'll eat it both ways. I prefer it cold, but hot is good too.
Man, I've never had it hot.
Oh,
I've
you never had it out of the oven?
Yeah, right out of the oven.
Oh, it's good out of the oven.
This was chilled, and it was good. It was. There was no complaints. It was delicious.
I love banana pudding. I do. Now, you can get some bad ones. It's like peach cobbler. If people use just like the peach pie filling and they don't go to the trouble of actually using peaches, it's terrible.
$34 old fashions were not great, though.
That's a bit steep.
I had a lot of them.
Is it?
wow.
Do they smoke it or anything? Or they
Yeah,
just,
it came out in one of those smoke things.
You get a hand job with them, bro.
Yeah, those are good. Those smoked.
Yeah.
It's a deal.
It came out.
$34.
It was a speakeasy. I'm sure that was on the table.
Down here, old fashions are $20.
I like
a 34 is
a
heavy.
Smoked old fashioned though is fantastic. I've seen ways you could do it at home, but it is so much trouble.
I didn't want to talk about this, but I'm going to bring it up right now. Lance would have been proud of me. This is one day I had dinner. I had an old fashioned. Oh wait, they brought us, because it was our anniversary. They brought us a flute of champagne.
Oh, how about
so I
that?
drank a champagne. Then I drank an old fashioned. Then I went on the sunset cruise around the harbor, and had 2 IPAs. And then we went to a speakeasy, and I went back to 2 bourbons.
Oh, so you mixed it all.
How many times did you puke?
And I didn't throw up.
Wow.
I didn't throw up. But I brought Lance up. I was like, Lance always tells me this is mental, because Maggie's drinking it's wine and it's rum and it's vodka, then it's tequila. And I'm like, I can't do that. And she's like, it's in your head. And I said, that's what Lance says.
Yeah.
So I did it, and I didn't throw up.
Yeah, there
so I
you
was
go.
pretty
It's
proud.
100% in your head.
Yeah.
Hey, Lance hit the transfusion on the golf course Thursday.
Wow.
I know. I'd never seen him get a transfusion.
The most surprising thing of that sentence is Lance on the golf course.
I know. That's the second time
I
this
will
year.
not be back until October.
I saw that on the show. You got hot. huh?
Awful. 8-year-old Seamus Coffey and his dad Mike have been documenting his fishing successes at different points, but they hit the big time in mid-August after a surprise catch during their fishing trip. You guys know what this is?
That's a flounder.
No, look at the teeth. That's a barracuda. What is it?
Piranha.
Oh, piranha. I meant piranha when I said barracuda.
Piranha is what I meant too.
When
I said
flounder.
By the way, I'm pretty sure this name is pronounced Seamus.
Seamus. Yeah, it is Seamus. Yeah.
Instead of Seamus.
Okay.
It does look like Seamus, though.
Yeah.
Seamus actually reeled in what he thought was a large bass. Got a surprise when he actually found a piranha on the other end.
By the way, if my name was Seamus, I would be Seamus.
I saw over the weekend that somebody said a bull shark has been spotted in Lake Gunnersville. I don't know how that's possible. I don't know what feeds into Lake Gunnersville.
Brown's got one in the ponds in his neighborhood.
No, that was supposedly a python, but I proved that incorrect. I think that is AI. If you see something, you're going to immediately think that's AI.
Well, I don't believe it. See, this is very believable. I had a buddy in college that had a couple of piranhas. So you get sick of your piranha, you can just throw it in fresh water.
But now I will say this: I don't think you could get a bull shark in Lake Gunnersville. But like if a lake totally like drought or whatever gets wiped out, it fills back up eventually from rain, and there are fish in there because fish eggs evaporate and they rain back down in the lake. So in theory, you could have a fish egg that would evaporate.
Shut up.
No, 100%.
You're telling me, that fish eggs survive being part of evaporation.
Correct, and rain back down in the lake. Google it, Tyler.
Google it.
No,
Google it.
Fish eggs do not evaporate. The water inside them can dry up if they are left outside in the air, but the eggs themselves do not turn into gas and vanish.
Okay, they don't turn into gas. No,
Well, that's what evaporate means.
Well, they get caught up in the evaporation.
Where did you even think you learned this little factoid?
On a golf course, because one time, Indian Oaks Golf Course,
so this is teenage years, pre-college.
The lake, there was a drought in central Alabama, and the lake had gone dry on number 2. And then it filled back up once it rained and all that.
And people restock
people were
it.
Fishing.
Yeah, they restock it.
they don't restock that. What do you think? They go get fish and dump them in there?
Well, you have to, Brown, for the oxidation, so you don't have a bunch of algae and stuff.
Well, and for the ecology too, right?
No, I'm telling you, they didn't restock it. They would not have gone to that expense.
Yeah, so they survive under the ground. They have
that's how fish get back in?
Yes, they get back under the ground, and the mud protects them, and then rain sort of reactivates the embryos, is what I'm reading here.
Interesting. So the fish eggs hide, basically.
Yes, but they never evaporate.
Florida woman allegedly aimed her speeding Mercedes at a pair of bicyclists she evidently believed did not belong on her street. This is Jill Vernon, 58 years old, was at the wheel of her white Mercedes convertible shortly after 7 p.m. on Sunday when she encountered the male and female I'm just going to say cyclist.
Okay.
Bicyclist. You don't normally see that.
No, you're right. That is cyclist is a better way of doing it.
Yeah. Now, she approached the cyclist at a, quote, seemingly high rate of speed in the opposite direction. The male cyclist signaled with his hand, trying to persuade Vernon to slow down. She flipped him off, yelled profanities at the cyclist as she passed. Female cyclist was concerned that the Mercedes might reappear. Sure enough, they heard the engine getting louder behind them.
Oh, no.
Woman cyclist looked back and saw the Mercedes approaching at a high rate of speed. Lady cyclist quickly moved to the grass, warned her male companion. Mercedes passed very close to his leg, forcing him to stop. Vernon shouted that the cyclist, quote, don't live on that street, and they had no reason to tell her to slow down. Male cyclist indicated he was going to obtain the license plate number of the Mercedes, prompting Vernon to pull into the driveway, re-enter the roadway, and accelerate backwards towards the pair.
Oh, no.
Cyclist then scuttled into another driveway to avoid being hit. Cyclist filled out sworn statements for the police. When an officer showed up at Vernon's house and tried to place her in handcuffs, she tried to flee the house. Officers attempted to grab her hand, but she hit a wall, fell to the ground, continued to try to pull away from the officer. She told him that she needed to use the restroom and that she had, quote, soiled her pants.
Oh, no.
Soiled her pants. Vernon was arrested on charges of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and resisting arrest.
Okay, this looks like my grandmother watched her stories growing up. This looks like a soap opera. Like the female cyclist was run over by the lady in the Mercedes, but then in the ambulance, they pull back the sheet, and it's her twin sister she didn't know she had. Is that the same lady in both pictures?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay.
Why is she under?
The one on the left is when the cop showed up to her house.
And the one on the right,
one on the right
is a mugshot.
Looks like she's laying in bed.
It looks like she's a cult leader, like there's a cape or a sheet on her.
Yeah, like a robe. Dude in the back, was it called West Coast Choppers?
Yeah, that's what Brooks said in the chat. His name was
County Choppers. He looks like Paul Sr.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I just put in
That's
the
what he
chat.
looks like.
He's got his handlebar mustache for sure.
Yeah.
That is quite a look.
Yeah.
Just needs a son to scream at now.
And finally, PBS station has taken legal action after losing access to more than 70 years of different television archived materials. Now, 9 PBS TV network St. Louis affiliate filed a lawsuit against Iron Mountain Data Center on July 28th. Station claims its files became trapped in legal limbo after its cloud storage provider, Open Source, apparently went out of business.
No.
Now, the archive is believed to remain inside of an Iron Mountain facility in Denver. However, the company has reportedly refused to hand it over because OSS, Open Source Storage, owns the physical infrastructure housing the files. Now, according to Current, the files include television programs, photographs, and videos dating back to PBS's launch in 1954. Archive contains coverage of the Great Flood of 1993, the pandemic, and the history of East St. Louis. What if East St. Louis was ever nice?
I don't know. I don't remember the Great.
Well, there's no way we'll ever know.
Yeah, we won't.
Where was the Great Flood in '93? I was alive then. I don't remember
The
that.
Mississippi River.
Oh, did it flood?
Yeah, badly.
Was it
Right there,
great?
right there in Missouri. In Brown's world, right? This data center closes, but it evaporates, and that data drops out of the clouds somewhere else into somebody else's file.
It drops on a Peacock. You can watch it for $9.95 a month.
Gonna get hit with copies of Ken Burns, The Vietnam War.
Yeah.
We need to update our laws, man. Like if a data center, since we're gonna have them everywhere now, if they go out of business, that data needs to be returned to its owners or become part of somebody else's data center that I can access.
Right.
Like if I'm storing my data, I need to have access to it, even if my company goes out of business. It's my data.
Those Ken Burns Civil War things were strangely intoxicating, though, to watch. I mean, it's just still photos. Obviously, there's no video. But I mean, like the narration, and there's always that little flute and drum in the background, and then Stonewall Jackson.
Cannon fire in the distance.
Yeah, I mean, they were just intoxicating to watch.
They're solid.
They would suck you right in, and you're like, I'm just watching still photos. There's nothing to this.
The history of baseball one he did with the old film.
Yeah.
And a lot of still photographs was tremendous as well.
So famous, it's literally called the Ken Burns effect on video editors.
Oh, is it?
Oh, wow.
It is.
Just using still photos?
And doing the slow zoom, push, and pull out of the photos. That is known as the Ken Burns effect.
How about that?
Oh.
Got it named after him.
In reality, when we started this platform 5 years ago, 6 years now today, I pictured that would be all we'd be using as
still photos.
I never imagined we'd have the use of video that we do.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah, I like Alabama practice, and I thought we'd have slow pushes into Keelan Russell or Austin Mack and that kind of stuff.
But you got Scott Forrest.
Not the case. That is Trash Today, brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Don't forget, Boiling and Bragging is coming up again this weekend, right?
Yep. Boilingandbragging.org for more information. That is coming up at 6 o'clock on Saturday, the 22nd.
One more look at the AP poll. We'll be talking about that all the way up until kickoff. Should be a lot of fun. There it is, the AP preseason poll. Bama in at 13, Auburn, others receiving votes. Countdown to kickoffs at 12. We'll go to number 9 in our countdown tomorrow on the show. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.